different about humanity, as we are all too small to matter to these godlike creatures. Fractal Block World disagrees though, because no matter how small I get, these giant fuckers are always determined to kill me. At some point, their bullets become so big that it is literally impossible to avoid them. This becomes the main gameplay loop. Because shrinking makes enemies bigger and therefore more powerful, you must defeat every enemy while they are small before it becomes safe to shrink. Otherwise, you will end up battling multiple planet-sized raid bosses that could have otherwise been killed in a couple of shots. But okay, now that we have a basic understanding of the game, how does Fractal Block World turn this into 80 hours of gameplay? Well, let's just say there's a lot of places to explore. The first area is called the Yin Forest. After reading a text box that tells me not to walk into high voltage fences, I save my game and walk straight into the high voltage. Now, what are these sound effects? It feels like every sound was selected at complete random. Some of the enemies meow when you kill them, others go. And then there's the marine who goes like whoosh when you kill him. The player actually has their own hit sound effect, but I didn't even realize that's what this cryptic noise meant until much later. There's even a second noise you make when your armor breaks, and it's even more nonsensical. What part of this noise indicates that my armor is broken? I mean, who thinks of this stuff? After finishing the aptly called Noob Maze, we get a trophy going, "Oh yeah!" and a message from Kay that goes like this. Message from your friend Kay. You just finished a Noob Maze. I will not think any less of you because you are a noob. We have all been there. But anyway, onto the first area, the Yin Forest. What's cool about the Yin Forest is that you can see the world edges when you first enter. It is only after shrinking a few times that you notice the depth of this world. The ground of the Yin Forest is filled with small grass trees, which when shrunk reveal smaller trees on the branches of the previous trees, and yeah, you can see where this is going. Except, unlike in the tutorial where every single block had coins, not every tree has something interesting in it, which means that sometimes you'll find unique structures and other times you'll find nothing. One of these unique structures I found was called the Black Flower, where I got this cool shotgun weapon. What's inside the Black Flower, you ask? Well, I don't have time for that today, you're going to have to wait until Day 2. Why can't I save on the main menu? Thank you, Fractal Dev Team, for this revolutionary new feature. It's been a month since I touched this, I don't know where I am. I don't know, I guess we follow left? Hold on. This is the treasure! That's right! By following the left wall in this maze, you found the treasure room! Not. This isn't the treasure room, you dumb idiot. This isn't the treasure room at all, it's just a brief pit stop in this giant 5-floor maze. Luckily though, the other floors didn't increase in difficulty, so after a couple more minutes of wandering around, my roommate walks in, looks at the screen and asks me what the fuck I am playing.
How much content is in that game?
Apparently, there's a Steam review of a guy that said, wait, is this the treasure? Is this the treasure? 1000% ammo? What is this Geometry Dash looking logo?
Yeah.
20,000 XP. 5 levels. Laser. Freeze time. I have a new weapon. I have a max health. Are these all... That was a one-way? You can't just... There was an upgrade station up there. I missed it because the floor was a secret one-way door. What? Who would do something like this? This is the point I learned that Dan Hathaway is a massive troll. Why else would he trap the player behind a one-way wall right after the treasure room? The funny part is, the game technically warns you about this, but it was pretty much impossible to react in time. If you rewind the footage, you can clearly see that the blocks say in only. But of course I was too distracted being pampered with upgrades, 1000% armor and a new weapon. to notice the inconveniently placed one-way door. On the bright side though, I got to test out my new laser weapon, and while the ammo is scarce, this thing is stupidly powerful. Okay, let's shoot you. Oh? This is some kind of splash thing. What? Are they all dead? Come on, man. Let me back in. It's not fair. Run away. Run away, he says. Like, you... Why? You can't lock me out of this. Oh my god, my health. I no longer have weapons? I'm reloading. Yes. I'm not gonna make the same mistake. Oh, I saved right here. Okay, thank god. I'm not losing my weapons. In only. I'm not gonna be able to read that with all of this. Are you kidding me? I have a minigun now as well. After carefully collecting all the upgrades, I saved my game and progressed to the new area. But this time I was prepared. Stop! What's that tower? When I shrunk to enter it, I discovered something unthinkable. A second treasure room. The game had just given me 2 new weapons on top of a bunch of upgrades, and then in not even the next room over, Fractal Block World decided that I was such a good player, I deserved more upgrades, another trophy, and even some lore. Message from your friend K. I entered this Fractal Block World out of my own curiosity. I wanted an inner world to exist below normal scientifically testable reality. I love using Premiere Pro. I love using Premiere Pro. Then one day, while looking at a yin-yang symbol on some bulletin board, I felt something from another world nudge me from the yang exposed world to the yin hidden world. It put me into a yin world, part of this Fractal Block world. The yin world is a gateway into the broader hidden world of this strange universe. But anyway, after buying some rocket ammo for this gun I didn't have, I noticed this small plant in the corner of the room with an option to shrink beside it. After shrinking, the game asks me to shrink again, which shows me that this plant is hiding an entire world inside of it. Oh. What are you? Demon? A minor rat? Oh, there's so... do something! A troll. I'm definitely in a bad area. I shouldn't be here. But there's something over there. And then I got nibbled to death. But despite the fact that this area was clearly too difficult for me, I returned anyway, trying to see what sort of overpowered resource I could get by rushing such a difficult area immediately. Whoa! And then I got to death again.
Welcome.
What is that thing? That is freaky. Oh, not you. It was very obvious that after 5 deaths, I may have been too weak for this area. But before leaving, I did learn one extremely valuable lesson. The minigun has a very surprising secondary fire, which poisons enemies to do damage over time. This poison effect turned out to be my most deadly attack by far, capable of dealing over 500 damage, which is like 10 times the amount any of my other guns could do. This let me destroy tough enemies such as the troll with 3000 health, as I could fire one shot, hide behind the flower, wait for the poison to wear off, before repeating the process. While this strategy wasn't enough to carry me through this area, I knew that in the future, I could kill anything I wanted to, provided I had enough minigun ammo, and soon, I would discover such an enemy. But first, with no options left, I returned to the Yin Forest and just sort of wandered around for 10 minutes. Not really knowing what I was doing, just searching for something. I decided to check out one of the cubes floating in the air, but they just led me to a smaller yin forest exactly like the one I had used to reach this cube, essentially meaning I had made no progress getting anywhere. I was still in the yin forest, just at a much smaller level inside a cube. That was, until I noticed something very peculiar about this place. Excuse me? The secrets didn't end there, as I learned there was another location in the cube only accessible if you shrunk yourself. What are these guys? Previously, my laser weapon worked really well at clearing out rooms of enemies, so I figured the same would apply here, only for the plague to treat my attack like a little rat nibbling at its health bar. Huh? 30,000? Wait, why am I not... Is this all one enemy? Safe to say I have no chance of killing whatever an eternal plague is. Eternal plague? I assumed that all those enemies were part of the eternal plague, and that if I killed one of them, they would all die. But I only wanted to believe that because I didn't want to think of the horrifying possibility that each individual plague ball had 30,000 health. Yet, that was not the end of my journey inside this cube, as there was yet another path I could follow, one that was much more reasonable, only containing a few small imps. And it is here where I learned the true power of my cannon shotgun. It took me until now to realize that the alt fire of the cannon shoots a projectile that bounces between enemies, instantly killing entire rooms of imps. While the laser gun was technically more effective in clearing out rooms, I could only use it 4 times before running out of ammo, which made the cannon much more resource efficient as it was pretty difficult to run out of cannon ammo. Who is Rigel? Wriggle? But more importantly... Oh, there's something down there. Lamprey? He has 30,000 health. Can I even kill that? Yes, you can. Or, at least I was going to try. I had been blocked off from progressing too many times, and this time I would not be stopped. Even though Lamprey was clearly out of my league, I was going to kill him. Except, Lamprey does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. If you look at your YouTube recommended right now, I guarantee Lamprey would be able to kill every single person there by him. Luckily, I had a trick up my nuclear submarine. Poison damage. Poison damage. Poison damage.
Welcome.
Damage. This is so exciting, he's almost dead. What? Yes. Is that more of them? Oh. Another plague. New objective. Collect the 50 gold. Even though I was blocked off by yet another eternal plague, I wasn't about to give up. Lamprey had just dropped 50 coins and I wanted my reward. However, the eternal plague does even more damage than Lamprey, which gives me only a slim window to retrieve the gold and escape the hole. I died so many times here, moving at every single possible angle, but the AoE damage of the plague was just too much to handle. Eventually though, after much pain and many reloads, I finally gave up. I couldn't do it, it was impossible. There's no way to get the gold, I can't get the gold. I'll take the XP, whatever. The last thing I did on day 2 was read a hint about a secret, which would become my next goal for tomorrow. But before we get into that, let's just go over what we've explored so far. So in the Yin world, we shrunk until we found the black flower, which contained the weird room with the weird plants, which we got blocked off because it contained minor rats. That's not a circle. We could also go down into the air where there was Yin cubes, but which, regardless of which way we went, we got blocked off by the plague, so that's also a dead end. The only other place we can go is the yellow flower, which is supposed to spawn just like the black one, so we just have to find that. At the same time, apparently, the whole Yin world is surrounded by an electric fence, which means that if we just go outside that fence, Imagine that's an electric fence. There's a whole other world to explore. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Day 3. Alright, welcome. It's day 3 in Fractal Block World. Where am I? Is the game meant to be like this? I think this is a bug. So anyway, I had a strange experience this morning. I was in the kitchen eating breakfast, and when I entered the kitchen, I just kind of thought about what it would be like to shrink and see everything from being smaller. Like, what if I entered the container that stored the salt and I got smaller? And then I got smaller again. With the salt in there all look like planets? And it is at that point I realized that this game, Fractal Block World, is having a serious effect on my psyche and I need to finish it. The goal for today was to find a yellow flower, as apparently there is a secret tunnel hidden at the very bottom of the block, which leads to a treasure room. And while searching for our yellow flower, I was reminded of this attack. Look, it's bouncing! Okay, that's such a good way to get rid of enemies quickly, all these smaller guys that I can't be bothered to shoot at. Oh, this is a yellow flower. You are about to enter the dungeon of this small yellow flower. The dungeon is the grey block on top of the yellow pyramid. But there's a secret under this cube, as we learned from that other place. So if I shrink and make my journey up here, will I find it? God, this whole room is so massive now.
Welcome.
BTD6 is awesome. Life is awesome too. Don't forget to have a break and do something else. No, really, stop procrastinating. That's the opening, that's the secret. Is this the secret? Oh, there's a lot of stuff there. I think we just skipped the dungeon. Message from your friend K. I am K. You must kiss my fractal mass. My mind has changed. I am going to kill you. Hold on, what is this? A Yin World gated community. An island surrounded by yellow electric fences. Big islands in the Yin World? To gain access to the village, you must get a key by defeating a boss that lives underneath the island. See, the thing about Fractal Block World is that sometimes the game gives you tips for places you have yet to be, and I had no idea what any of this meant. So, instead of trying to figure that out, I went to the one place I haven't visited yet. The rest of the world, outside the electric cage. I'm in space now. That whole place I was in was nothing. This is where the actual game is, and there's orange pyramids. You are about to enter a small cannon pyramid. There is a treasure room at the very top that contains upgrades to... Yeah, okay. While I navigate this pyramid, I'd like to take the time to talk about where Dan Hadaway got the idea to make shrinking the main gimmick of his game. It's just such a unique mechanic that you have to wonder what inspired him to do it. As it turns out, his inspiration came from two places. The first was this conversation he had with Zach Bart while developing Infinifrag 2. Zach suggested the idea of adding a level of detail system to their game to let the player see further. Level of detail is a trick games use to avoid boiling your computer. Oh, so an update on the video, it's frozen. Until one night he had a strange dream while falling asleep. Either in 2012 or slightly before that, I had this trippy dream which was basically like flying through the Burlington area in the game. Shrinking and shrinking. When I woke up, I thought, let's do this thing, and committed to coding it up. Speaking of orange pyramids, judging how this pyramid is filled with level 1 enemies, I get the feeling I was supposed to come here first. But I'm only here now, and there's the treasure room. Cannon projectile speed. It's pretty fast now. Pure Menger sponge. Hold on, what's this? What is this? How many is... That was one shot! That was one bullet that did all that. Unfortunately, it turns out that the Menger Sponge is just another troll trap by the Fractal Evil team, as inside the Menger Sponges are dangerous shrinks, which you can't grow out of. So like a complete moron, I shrunk myself several times, effectively getting stuck in this one random part of the world. I had just entered the fractal equivalent of a quicksand trap, becoming so small that it was literally impossible to move beyond the nearby godlike trees. The game seemed to agree that I was doomed, because the only thing I found down here was notices telling me to kill myself if I got stuck. This is quicksand grass, there is no escape. With no other options left, I did the only thing I could. I reloaded the save. I'm not killing myself, you dumb Strangely enough, there wasn't much else to find in this outer area. The single other thing I could find was this Yin Cave, which, to be fair, was an interesting find, but that was it. That was the only thing out here. Inside the Yin Cave was a cave. Finally, after 6 hours of gameplay, we finally reached the most famous popular block game, Infiniminer. Hey, why am I being spawn camped in Infiniminer? There's also gnolls, which are kind of cool, but they're not. And I found a giant red square. Inside the giant red square is a single trophy and a jumbo yellow flower. I originally thought this dungeon was just going to be a larger version of the yellow flower, but oh no, this is a completely new place. Immediately I am forced to fight whatever a collapsed spirit is to enter, which of course I just poisoned to death. Every enemy after the collapsed spirit was an insurgent, which has a really silly interaction. Because they drop a full restock of minigun ammo after death, it means you can spam your minigun down this hole without ever running out of ammo because you keep picking up the boxes. The insurgents will die before they can even do anything, which is funny. The reward for crossing this gap was a fireworks show. Do you ever wonder where pink rings will take you? The game is telling me to open up the console. I don't want to... No. Why is the game telling me to cheat? Message from your friend K. My mind is so entrenched and trapped in this fractal world. Releasing me is no easy task. It requires energy and skill beyond you or me. But this type of task is not uncommon in the fractal universe, and it is possible. That is why you need a key to the Once you simple touch such a key, we can immediately execute the command to save me. Awesome, he wants me to open the console. That's gonna be the key to the universe. It's gonna be a console command. Aha, we can enter here now. Who's Ton 618? Okay, so fun fact. Ton 618 is the biggest black hole in the universe. I don't know what to do with this information, it's up to you now. Well, haven't you just found a wonderful secret? There is a blue ring device here. It will bring you outside of this small yellow flower. But you'll never be able to get to the blue ring device because there's a wall of lampreys in your way. But you know, there is another place you can find a blue ring device within this small yellow flower. It is quite deep, so you probably won't be able to find it. I wish I could shine a light on its location, but I would not want to spoil the fun. Wait, hold on. Are Hamprey Hamprey's that one guy with 30,000 health? They might be. Oh, they definitely are. Yeah, they all have 30,000 health. Seeing as there was no way I was killing a room full of lampreys, I was out of options on where to go. The world outside the Yin Forest wasn't as big as I was expecting, and I felt like I had already mapped out the world inside the Yin Forest. My only hint as to where I could go was some cryptic comment about shining a light, so because I was completely lost, I decided to just keep shrinking myself and see what happens. What's kind of interesting about getting stuck in this game is that because very few people have ever played it, it means that if I do get stuck, I can't just look up the answer. If I couldn't solve this riddle on my own, then there could be potentially an entire area I would miss out on. Which is something pretty rare in the modern gaming landscape, where practically every game out there has a pro tips for beginners guide on YouTube. I didn't actually know if getting smaller would do anything. I just had to hope it did, otherwise I wouldn't know where to go. And if I didn't, well then I guess I would have to accept that I would never finish Fractal Block World. Well, this hopeless feeling could be considered a fault on the game for not guiding the player correctly. I would consider it a strength. Not for the negative feeling itself, but for what came afterwards. Soon enough, I did find something. At first it was just a couple of new enemies I hadn't seen before. But then when I reached level 50, I saw several demons and even orcs far too powerful to take down, yet not so powerful that I couldn't explore the area. The anticipation was growing as I realized there was two structures here I didn't recognize. A small black tower along with what I can only assume to be a beehive. The reason I call it a beehive is due to its yellow hexagonal textures decorating the hallways just big enough for only its native inhabitants. This place was filled with menaces, and while I could handle them back then, it becomes difficult to make any progress in the beehive when every single enemy is a menace. Then there's the unremembered tower, which has its own issues. What is that? Thank God they're stuck. That sound is disgusting. Who did this? The creator of this game recorded himself eating, sped it up, and that's how he got these sounds. They do give you a lot of— oh my god, they give you so much XP. Sounds like they're drowning. What is that? Oh no! For some reason I didn't give up, and that turned out to be the right choice, as it took me this long to realize you can actually move backwards to avoid the rats. Crazy, right? I didn't even figure that out by myself. The game had to tell me that with this tip through this random text box. When it became clear that the enemies weren't going to overpower me, the game used another way to halt my progress. If it couldn't kill me by attacking my health bar, then it was going to kill me by attacking my curiosity. Mossy? Why is there a castle here? This is a mossy basement that has the standard basement layout. Interesting. This is a dungeon within a dungeon I can enter. Like, I'm inside a dungeon and then I can just enter whatever a mossy basement is. Fun fact, the mossy basement has that plant flower from before inside of it, which if entered would technically be a dungeon inside a dungeon inside a dungeon. But it's not the only one you can choose from. At the very end in the treasure room, you can find a pipe, which— okay, we're not touching that. Day 4. So I got good news and bad news. Let's start with the good news because there's a lot of it. I had unlocked quite a few new weapons yesterday, when one of them is the single most overpowered item in the entire game, the homing missile. Now I know I've called pretty much every weapon I've gotten overpowered, but this time I mean it. There may be weapons like the nuke which do more damage than my missile, but in terms of versatility, homing is king, and I'm going to prove that to you with this one single clip. But it gets better than that. Not only do they fire quickly, not only do they take care of multiple enemies at once, but I have so much homing ammo. You'd think a weapon like this would balance itself out by giving you a low ammo capacity. But nope. Fractal Block World just feeds you homing missiles on a conveyor belt, so you never have to worry about running out. What is this Mario pipe? This is a well, there are no monsters. Okay, another dungeon within a dungeon. I guess we could enter, why not? I mean, there's no monsters. Oh my god, it is a well. There's water down here. I have to travel between the surface of the water? This is cool. Good news number 2 is that inside the well I found a nuke. I have a nuke? I saved my game. Let's test the nuke out on you. Well, that does seem like a nuke. But as if that wasn't enough, at the very bottom of the well, I unlocked my final weapon. The black hole. With my newfound power, I knew exactly who I was taking down. That's it. You've stopped me far too many times. But now... What? That did only 1/3 of its health. I can nuke these guys and it does nothing. If you recall, there is a eternal plague in this plug, which we should be able to kill. First, let's see what the black hole does. Maybe that's better than the nuke. What? That did like no damage. What? What? Okay, what about the alt fire? What's the point of this? If I sit here, I launch a nuke. Not so eternal anymore. There's a second one. Okay, what if we just run past him? Oh my god. This should have been obvious to me, but the Eternal Plague was connected to the lamprey. It's just an exit, that's all it is. It's just a way to get out, there's no other secret here. I then tried returning to the lamprey room to see if my nukes could handle them at least, but that's when I learned that the nuke weapon does absolutely no splash damage. That wasn't the bad news though, because there's still one more bit of good news. You see, I have over 3,000 fractal coins. Despite visiting at least 15 different dungeons at this point, only the Black Flower had an upgrade station, so after revisiting that place, I spent all my money on cannon damage. I would have upgraded my homing missiles as well, but apparently that is the single weapon in the entire game which you can't upgrade. But then again, that wasn't too big of a deal since they're already so strong that I don't need to upgrade them. Why am I not using the rockets? These things are another way to get rid of these guys. It's not as good against you though. You could just nuke him. There's something here. But it's in a... It's surrounded by a barrier. You are here. Oh, it's a map! The edge is surrounded by plague. Oh, here comes the guy. How about no? I think the plague exists to block you, you're not meant to kill it. But then, I have to make it to the fruit. The red fruit. Oh my god, I can two-shot demons now with my cannon. I can even kill the minor rats, I fire so quickly. Alright, this will be the ultimate test.
I'm sorry.
Give me the riz.
Heads to the cannon. Can it defeat an orc? We can kill trolls now with the cannon. Okay. Finally, progress, new stuff. We're safe from the void, the plague, whatever it is, and now we can enter the fruit. Oh, with that monstrosity inside. Is this a boss? Oh, these are spiders. What's interesting about these giant spiders is that normal weapons don't work against them. They are so massive that weapons with small bullets just can't hurt them. This is where rockets can finally get a niche. They aren't the strongest weapon, but they can consistently deal with large enemies like spiders, which is where it comes in handy. But that's also where the good news ends. You can keep going past this plant, but all that will happen is you'll get stuck in quicksand grass, where the only things to find are some drawings and a stronger version of the basement. Now, it's time for the bad news. When I entered the beehive, I thought I was maybe around halfway done with Fractal Block World. I had just unlocked every single weapon, and on top of that, there wasn't many areas left to explore, giving me the impression that I had seen most of what the game had to offer. But then inside the beehive, I found a small black cube. I shrank myself to try enter the black cube, and when I did that enough times, I discovered that this was just another beehive? It's this weird place filled with caves and yin trees and chains from the top to the bottom. What? Not only was this place strange, but it was also massive. The well I encountered earlier was a quick 5-minute adventure, but this place just kept going and going and going until eventually, just when I was thinking that I would never make it to the center, here we are. Oak tree? This is an oak tree. This is a floating island. What are you talking about? You can enter here. Oh my god. I don't know what plant this is anymore, but it's some sort of plant. This is an oak tree. This is an oak tree. We finally found it. Inside this new tree area was a cardboard box, and inside the cardboard box was a paper box. Outside of
Yo, where's the rainbow at?
which was this whole new world with many new areas to explore. One of which being this small 3x5 tube. I mean, it's just a small little tube. There can't be that much new content inside of it, right? Right? There's a map for this area. There's this like, tiny 6x3 box I just enter because I'm out of curiosity, and turns out there's a whole ass area in here. You thought that's the end of it, did you? Think again. The game then tells me that I'm actually on the right path to discovering the inner core. All I have to do is find a yellow cube, which I do. Although entering it is suddenly a challenging task. Normally entering places you are too big for is as simple as clicking the shrinking ring. But you see, this is the Stony Air. And that means the developers stoned up an entire mini dungeon you must cross every time you want to shrink. When I finally shrunk down to fit inside the yellow cube, I found another grid place containing a church? Inside the church, after defeating the 6 remaining people still going to mass, I found a cube telling me of several side areas I could visit, most of which I had never even heard of yet. But then, deeper inside the church, I found a map telling me how to progress along the main branch, as well as another map showing me whatever's inside a blue bubble, and at this point, my brain was overloaded with information. I could not keep track of it all. It was getting late. Good night. Day 4. What, did you fall asleep or something? Wake up, it's day 5! But first, let's go over what actually happened yesterday. The place we are in is called a monastery, which is found inside the yellow cube, which is found in the Stony Air, which is found in the Tweedledum Air Base, which is found in the Oak Tree, which is found in that weird black box thing, which is found in the beehive we found yesterday. Inside this yellow cube, you can actually find a real beehive. However, I wasn't able to get very far there because with no other options, I decided to continue with the main path and entered the black cube in search of an orange. Now, something interesting about the monastery is it also tells you some cool facts about your weapons, one of which being the railgun, which I've had for a while now but never really used, at least until now, when I learned that apparently this weapon heals you by stealing health from your enemies, which means that all those times I died previously out of low health could have been prevented if I had just used the railgun. As you will see later, the railgun can prevent you from dying even if you are fighting enemies way stronger than you, because you can just keep stealing health from them. But that's not all. The other thing I learned is how black holes work. So in Fractal Block World, black holes can only damage enemies that are much larger than you, otherwise they just don't do anything. While you almost never encounter enemies bigger than you, when you do, this black hole becomes an eco-friendly nuke. What was that noise? Look, buddy. No, you might not want to mess with me, okay? I can do this. I can do this. Hey man. Hey, I need to blow my nose.
Just kill me. I don't care. Yeah, I know you're just gonna put me in the grinder. Yeah, I kind of knew it.
Why do they sound like this? Okay, to be honest, this is where I lost most of the motivation to finish this video. There's like 2.5 days of content I could feed to the YouTube sludge machine, but also I'm just sick of how every single video on this platform is 9 billion hours long, squeezing your brain dry of every little drop of attention it has, until you feel depressed and don't know why. Instead, let's just talk about the parts of Fractal Block World that I think are really cool. But first, to answer the question, is this game actually 80 hours long? The short answer is yes, and the long answer is yes, 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 yes. I bet Fractal Block World with about 21 hours, but I only explored about a fraction of the never-ending fractal that is this game. There's this trophy menu you can access with F6, and judging how I only collected 29 out of the 107 possible trophies after finishing the game, it means that mathematically speaking, there has to be at least close to 80 hours of content in this game. So, should you buy Fractal Block World? Ultimately, that's up to you. I could do the pretentious video essay thing where they take some random aspect of the game like shooting and write a paragraph about how it's the most genius mechanic no one has ever done before. But to be serious, while the shooting here is fun and all, it's very basic. I mean, the final boss is literally just a giant damage sponge that you just shoot nukes at until it dies. If there's a reason you would want to buy Fractal Block World, it would be for the surreal exploration. The whole shrinking
Okay. God, this game is so easy. That's gonna kill me. Okay. I have nothing to say in between.
Not someone I was dating, a friend of mine's girlfriend. She turned to him and asked, "Are the Olympics like a competition?" I asked her earnestly what she thought the Olympics were. She said, "I don't know, I thought it was just like, look what these people can do." Now look, we've done similar things before, yeah? We've studied stupid classmates, stupid co-workers not long ago at all. I feel the need to preface this one by saying I'm sure these Redditors don't actually think their significant others are stupid. It's just that when you fall in love with someone and start spending all your time with them, little things slide out that you're not expecting. I love my other half with all my heart. Yet, when we met, she thought it was Morgan Freeman that played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future films, and then if you shred a bit of paper, she thought if you put it back in again, it would all stick back together. If you ask her, she probably says, you know, I've done some stupid things. I mean, obviously, I've actually never done anything stupid, so I don't know what she'd say, actually. That was so stupid! Watching a wildlife documentary and my girlfriend asked me if bears laid eggs. My husband thought people whistled when they set off fireworks. He didn't realise the fireworks themselves whistles. She thought Vietnam was a planet in Star Wars. I love my husband, but I've watched him empty a vacuum cleaner bag into a wire wastebasket. Wife sent me screenshots to try and show me that her iPhone screen had cracked. I told him I liked daffodils, and after a pause, he said, "That's an animal, right?" As we were driving along the road, we saw a horse with its head over a gate. We slowed down, she opens the window and says, "Moo." X thought drinking through a straw made him look gay. One time, I showed my wife a David Blaine Netflix special. She asked, and I quote, "Now, is this real magic, or just like magic tricks?" He burned ramen noodles on the stove because he forgot to put water in the pot. Twice. Had a girlfriend who thought that the Magna Carta was the first credit card. Oh god, we were 16. And he absolutely did not believe in the ocean. He said the government paid people say they surfed and things to convince people the ocean was real. What? She tried to argue that we could get to the moon easier if we just built a spaceship that could go underwater and flew it through the ocean to the moon during the daytime rather than straight up. What? When he insisted that kiwis, the animals, were the same as kiwis fruits. He found this photo and just wouldn't believe that it wasn't real. Just wow. When she insisted that Kim Jong-un was the leader of North Carolina. When I mentioned I was on my period, he asked what my favourite flavour of tampons are. He genuinely thought the colours on the tampon packs were flavours and that it would soak into my blood while inside and I'd eventually taste it. When she pointed up at a bluish star and sincerely asked, "Is that Earth?" What a strange, surreal question. I get vertigo from even reading that. While travelling in the car during Remembrance Day, my ex once asked me to turn the radio up so she could hear the minute silence better. An ex thought that commercials were recorded live and the people on TV were employed to do them over and over again. My ex-girlfriend told me she had a flat tyre. That's weird. What's weird? Well, it's only flat on the bottom. Preheats the microwave. I caught her once with a butter knife in the toaster to warm it. Asked him what event resulted in World War I. His response was 9/11. He was serious. She thinks that north is always uphill, so prefers to walk south. I introduced him to my stepsister. He said, "Weird, you guys look nothing alike." We were driving one day and were stopped at a red light. What a dumb name for a street. What street? Bone Marrow Drive. Who'd name a street Bone Marrow Drive? Yeah, it's a sign for a local Bone Marrow Drive that'll be taking place, not the name of the street. I got into an argument with him and I told him he was being condescending and he told me, "Right, I don't know what that means, but I am not being it." Ugh, he was so pretty, yet so dumb. We bought a new car. She asked me if I changed the settings to Spanish because it said "Aya" on the dash when the door was open. Ex now, but one time we were talking about changes in taste preferences when she said taste bugs. She had thought that taste buds was taste bugs her entire life up until that moment. Dodged a dating bullet. He insisted the dog breed is pronounced a German Shepherd. Buck of the fine shepherd. My girlfriend pronounced placebo placebo. This was my reaction. Didn't know what a clitoris was. Called it Fanny Bean. She genuinely thought Barack Obama's name was Black Obama. We were playing a video game and he said, "Let's go kill those ogres over there." I was like, "What? You mean ogres?" And he replied, "Yes, but it's pronounced I'm an ogre." One time she called Kermit the Frog Hermit the Crab. He quoted Limp Bizkit to me during an argument. He didn't mean it ironically. For the record, he thought he was mucho cool. I gotta know what the quote was. You're really fucking whining me. I'm talking about the He says, she said, bullshit! Can you eat peanut butter Oreos, or will you go into intergalactic shock? Are you dating a Beastie Boy? He thought you absorb a gallon of water when you shower, so you didn't need to drink water. Were you dating SpongeBob? Posted this before, but my favourite brain fart moment was when she came into the bathroom crying to tell me she'd just swallowed her wedding ring. And 4 other rings. She took them off while painting and put them in a shot glass on the counter for safekeeping. The next morning she went to take her pills, which she also keeps in a shot glass on the counter. On the plus side, anytime she asks to go into a jewellery store, I get to reply, why are you hungry? He was getting his licence renewed and they asked him if he wanted to be an organ donor. He said no. When I asked why, he told me it was because he didn't want the government to come knocking for any of his organs when he still needed them. He really thought that becoming an organ donor meant that at any time his organs could be taken. Nothing too dumb. I have a fan with different settings labelled LMH for how fast the fan spins, your low, medium, high. She was looking at it and told me she set the fan to large. Girl I was seeing asked if potatoes grew on trees like grapes. Grapes don't grow on trees. I leaned in to kiss my GF. After a couple secs, she said, those people are staring at us. I looked over and yeah, it was our reflection. She was visibly upset, tears and quiet sobs while we were watching District 9. She turns to me and whispers, when did this happen? One of my exes was bawling when we watched Cloverfield because she thought it actually happened. She thought the movie The Martian was not only a true story, but that Matt fucking Damon was actually on Mars. Back when we were first living together, my husband, BF at the time, decided it was a great idea to get rid of a wasp chilling on our blinds by dousing it in lighter fluid and setting it on fire. When he gorilla glued his bathroom door shut to see if he could break it down. He couldn't. We were out having a few drinks. He said his tooth hurt. He just pulled it straight out of his mouth. Tried to buy a perpetual motion machine for $200 when he split open the gas tank on our car mounting a curb. Well, that's only an accident, and instead of dealing with it, parked the car in a closed parking garage of our apartment building, filmed the gas spewing out and posted it on TikTok. I took my boyfriend out for his first far. There was a huge slice of jalapeno that he ate all in one bite. His pizza-based taste buds were not accustomed and he wept over his bowl for a good while. He thought the jalapeno was a cucumber. I believe the word is taste bugs. Nice! Throwback! What is this? A crossover episode? 10,000 comments deep and nobody will ever see this, but hey, I see all. Back in the early 1990s, after a spate of highly publicised deaths due to carbon monoxide poisoning, I bought a CO detector for the bedroom. After I plugged it in, she told me to move it to the other end of the house because, and I quote, I don't want that thing beeping and waking me up if the alarm goes off. I see all. I see. I see. I see. My wife, a medical professional, once asked me why men even have belly buttons. I dated a firefighter who didn't know alcohol was flammable. Is that an albino duck? That's a dove. Ex-girlfriend, we'd just started dating and she was turning 29 on the 29th of April. I said, hey, that's funny, 29 on the 29th. She proceeded to ask if that meant she would turn 30 on the 30th. My ex once claimed that avocados were a kind of fish, that the past was black and white. She asked me if lightning was alive. They thought Egyptian people were, well, it's a myth, isn't it? She asked if it was still called an eclipse when the sun passes between Earth and the moon. That's called the apocalypse. I was a vegetarian when we were dating. Pretty early on, he asked if I ate fish. I said, no, I don't eat any animals. To which he replied, a fish isn't an animal, it's a mammal. I've never seen so many mistakes crammed into one conversation. He grabbed a Baby Bell cheese wheel, and then I heard him say, oh, this is gross. I look over at him to see if it was mouldy or something, and I see he's taken a bite out of it with the red wax coating still on. My husband is incredibly smart, highly educated, a clever man. He also was eating an entire muffin with the paper on. He told me he ate a pine cone once because he was dared to. Obviously, I'm not actually going to eat a pine cone. Yes, I'm going to do it. Obviously, I'm going to do it. I'm joking. I don't really know how to... I love that man more than anything. He sent me a text that simply said, I loathe you. When I got defensive and upset, he was terribly confused. He thought loathe means to really love someone. Such a sweet dumbass. I love my girlfriend to the moon and back, but she thought if she got a tattoo, her baby would come out with that same tattoo in the same spot she got it. Every time he grabbed something out of the oven without a mitten. Oh, but he's my idiot. Analog heart emoji. My girlfriend thought leg day was a national holiday. About to propose to her, actually. Redditor Safety Otter knew their partner was an idiot when I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. You see, in most cases, true love comes out on top, especially as I said at the start, you're not always necessarily the most intelligent one in a relationship. I used to wear clothes of many colours until my parents died when I was 9 and I started to wear only black. Me. Oh, like Batman. On rare occasions, though, tragically, it can cause relationships to drift apart. He talked about Minions too much. Spam me with Minions content, redirect every single conversation to be about Minions. After having a particularly bad day, I posted a sincere Facebook post about it as a means to reach out to some loved ones, and he responded with simply Minions! Oh no, that's despicable. Just a heads up, YouTube really don't like this video, so I've had to go through censoring the odd word here and there with this ding. To keep them happy. All worth it though, because this video is very funny. I remember watching Titanic as a kid, and Jack referenced a
one-legged prostitute.
I asked my mum what a prostitute was, and she said it was someone who sold their body. For the longest time, I thought prostitutes cut off their body parts, like their legs, and sold them out of desperation. A couple of years later, I had a camp counsellor who was a double amputee. I very sincerely asked him if he was a prostitute. He didn't even respond. I still cringe so hard thinking about it to this day. I think we all did stuff like this as a kid. My mum was horrified when my little cherub face erupted with the C word, thinking it was on par with calling someone, I don't know, a twit, because you pick up bad words from films, songs, even YouTube videos. As a young girl, I heard the word testicles on Fear Factor. They had to eat bull testicles. One day, when I was about 5, my friend's dad was pushing us on the tyre swing. I yelled, "Wee! Hiya! It's making my testicles tickle!" I was in middle school. I heard this cool new word, and I had no idea what it meant. I thought I would try it out at home later that day, and when Mum asked me to take out the trash, I looked at her and said, what do you think I am? Some kind of slut or something? The Simpsons movie came out when I was 5. My dad let me watch it with him. The next day we went to my parents' friend's house and I screamed, "Bountiful penis!" because I stubbed my toe on the couch. Poontang pie. When I was younger, I heard The Rock say it and the crowd would laugh.
A great big piece of that poontang pie?
So I just thought it was a funny type of pie. I asked my mum for some for Thanksgiving. I thought phallic meant gothic or dark for some reason. I suggested to someone at church that a coffin seemed kind of phallic. My mum walked into the room and asked what I was watching. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie's dad.
No. Kill me. I'm not giving you shit. This guy's really saying, "Give me cash." Can you hear me? Wait, jump if you can hear me. No, jump if you can hear me.
Dad just got laid. Excuse me? Yeah, he got laid. I feel bad for him. Now they don't have any money. Oh, laid off. The expression is laid off. Not me, but my sister used to lap her drinks up like a dog. One time they forgot to bring her a straw at the restaurant we were in and she loudly screamed, "Oh, guess I'll do it doggy style." This one kid on my block came up to me and my friends playing ball. He had a cramp or something and said, "Ah, man, I've got a boner in my rib." Not me, but a friend of mine used to say pap smear all the time, thinking it was just a synonym for when something gets obliterated or smashed. He'd say the guy totally just got smushed into a big pap smear. A little boy to his mother. Probably heard it on a gaming stream. Oh, clap your cheeks. One time when I was 11 or 12, I was at Blockbuster and saw a copy of Condemned: Criminal Origins for rent, and I asked my mum if I could rent this cool game called Condemned: Criminal Orgies. I was around 7, I think. Mum, careful. If you put on too much makeup, you'll look like a whore. When I was a kid, I used the word urinate instead of alternate. I would always tell people I was urinating between tasks, and I would also tell people that when I grew up, I was going to urinate between New York City and my hometown. I used to confuse diary with diarrhea. You can imagine how this became an issue when I told my kindergarten class how much I love my diarrhea. Oh, it's just so pretty and has this fresh smell. I love writing and drawing in it. My mum gave me my pink diarrhea. Erotic. I confused it with erratic. When I was 7 or 8, my mother heard me call my brother's behaviour erotic and told me that the word it didn't mean what I thought it meant. She was right. Vagina. I watched The Last Austin Powers, and for some reason I related the word vagina with a gobble of a chicken. I went up to my mum, put my chin down to squish up my neck fat, and proceeded to ask, "Hey mum, does it look like a vagina?" When the South Park movie came out on VHS, I begged and begged my mum to let me watch it. She watched a couple of the earlier episodes and decided it would probably be safe. She regretted her decision when I asked curiously while having Sunday dinner at my grand's house what a clitoris is. Apparently once, when I was like 2 or 3, I was off in the corner of the living room playing by myself when suddenly I looked up, waddled over to where my dad was sitting in his chair, crawled up into his lap, grabbed his collar and said in a rather serious voice, "I'm gonna knock the out of you." My mum politely asked my little sister to get up and grab something for her. While handing it to her, she replied, "Here." My teacher once told my class that her son came home from his first day in school and said, "Do you know what I learned today, mum?" You. Brother-in-law at Thanksgiving. "Hi, niece. Would you like some turkey?" Blonde-haired, blue-eyed 4-year-old niece. Turkey. "Excuse me?" "Oh, didn't you hear? I said turkey." I thought was synonymous with honk, so you could your horn at someone while driving. "Hey babe, let's honk." Lenny face emoji. A kid I know once used as a dinosaur noise. I was waiting in the car with my then 5-year-old daughter while her dad loaded groceries in the trunk. She looks at me, all excited, and said, "Mummy, I have a great idea. Let's surprise Daddy when he gets in the car and yell out, 'Hey, you motherfucker!'" I once told my grandma to off, because I thought that's what you say to people when they're leaving. When I was pretty small, around 4 or 5 years old, I was in the car with my family, and out of nowhere, I just called my grandma a Out of all the things I could have said, I called her a When I was a child of maybe 3 or 4, my dad was driving me somewhere. We got cut off, and my dad flipped them off and called them a head. Fast forward a few days, and my mother tells me to pick up a mess. I wasn't having any of that, so I flipped her off and called her a head. My daughter, 7, and I were driving one day, trying to make a left turn, but there was a guy on a bicycle in the way. From the back seat, I hear, "Now what's this doing?" Once, while we were stuck in stop-and-go traffic on our way home from daycare, my 2-year-old son said, "What a cluster f***." Well, he wasn't wrong. Skull emoji! My little brother announced that he had to take a booty call and ran to the bathroom during dinner. I thought a brothel was a soup kitchen. When I was younger and someone would get in like an instant karma situation, I used to innocently yet enthusiastically say, "That's what you get for sucking up the D," where D meant danger. I thought it was so clever. It got me some weird looks from my parents. When I was little, I thought condoms were a type of battery. I ate a lot of apples and saw apples as a way to refresh my energy. When the apples ran out once, I told my mum, "We need more condoms." Yeah, pretty sure my neighbours just heard me yell that out. I thought foreskin meant skin in general. I mean, there's forearm, forehead, etc. I got hit on the shoulder and yelled, "Ow! My foreskin!" You know that song? "You give me fever." Yeah, I misheard. Was belting out, "You give me beaver in the morning, beaver all through the night. Beaver!" Oh, sorry, sudden visceral personal flashback to being a little kid singing that "I'm horny, horny, horny all night long" song, thinking the lyrics were "I'm haunted, haunted, haunted." When I was in 7th grade and was a trombonist in middle school, I was complimenting my friend on some specific parts he played and wanted to say that he was a beast, but I ended up saying, "Oh, you've got that Without knowing what that word meant, I was a 9-year-old girl in Catholic school, and I thought, thou shalt not commit adultery, meant, well, you'd better not think like an adult. So I confessed to it, multiple times. 3rd grade teacher broke her leg, everyone wrote cards to her while she was in the hospital, wrote rest in peace on mine, but I thought it meant wishing someone peaceful recovery, loudly crying face emoji. At my cousin's funeral, as I was standing near my mum and my aunt, and they were commenting how young he was and how unfair it was. I was 12, said so young he'd never felt the warmth of a woman. I thought euthanize was euthanize and meant to make someone younger. Telling grandma she needed to be euthanized did not go over well during Christmas dinner. I used to mix up terrorist and tourist when I was younger, and whenever I went to a foreign place I'd say, I'm a terrorist! I was trick-or-treating as a prisoner. Someone asked me what I was in jail for, and I said I was in the analog sad face emoji. I had no idea at the time. When I was 12ish or so, I remember hearing the word, and I'll keep that word hidden for now, it'll be revealed at the end of the post. I don't remember where, I just knew I heard the word and I thought it sounded so cool. So me, being the cool kid I was, I wanted to show it off. I didn't have a clue of what it could possibly be. All I knew was that it was fun to say. So, everyone's sitting at the dinner table. Mum, dad, older brother, his friend, and my younger brothers. After some conversation, it dies down and just gets quiet since everyone's eating. And I'm like, alright, now's your time to shine, and just shouted loudly at the table, syphilis! My mum just staring at me with a horrified look on her face, calling one of my mum's boyfriends a rod munch. I was 4. In 6th grade, I called my friend a rat hymen in front of his mum without knowledge of what it meant. She was like, Anon, I don't know where you heard that, but never say it again. When I was about 12, I read it in a book, but I didn't know what it was. I called my mother a dried up old pot. 7th or 8th grade kid heard a dirty joke, didn't get it, told the teacher in class, hey miss, what's better than 2 roses on a piano? Tulips on an organ. I told my 8th grade health teacher to, quote, twiddle my I thought it was one of those expressions like, I'll be darned. In 6th grade, my friend thought meant pee. Asked our teacher for a restroom break, saying, I got a Excuse me, Mr. Teacher, sir, may I take a on this fine morning? I thought the term busting a nut meant sitting on your balls wrong, so at the dinner table I mentioned how I almost busted a nut from how the bus ride from school was so bumpy. When I was a kid, I thought meant thinking real hard about something or fixating over something. Yeah, I think you were getting that confused with ruminating. God, I hope that doesn't cause you any embarrassment down the line. Well, when we went and visited my grandparents' house, my grandpa took my dad into the garage to show him something with his car. My mum asked us in the living room, where are your dad and grandfather? In front of my brothers, cousins and grandma, I responded without skipping a beat. I think they're in the garage. Over the car, but it can switch around. Sometimes it's parents getting words wrong. This is reversed, but I thought hentai were the tattoos you put on your wrist and told my kids hentai was beautiful once. The way they looked at me, I had to Google it. I meant henna. Sometimes it's not actually a bad word at all. I always thought that elope meant to have sex. It just sounds dirty. We eloped when we were 18. Like real hardcore eloping, you know. And sometimes not a word, but a thing. I used to play with this cup in the bath and drink water out of it for years. I did it in the shower too as I got older. It had a handle on the end of it. I never knew why. I'd fill it up with water in the bath or shower and play with it and sip the water out of it, etc. as kids do with toys. One day I witnessed my mother use this cup in the toilet violently, and that was the moment I realised what a plunger was. I just got home from a rough job interview and realised my dress had split open a few inches along the back seam, completely exposing my thong-clad buttocks. What's the worst interview you've ever had? Edit, no pics, Reddit, Jesus, come on. Had to do a test for one interview, asked to put my name, spell it wrong. Are you an assertive person? Yeah, I think so. 30 years ago, and I still think about it. My first ever interview, she asked my hobbies. I said napping. Slipped on the stairs, walking to the interview room and kicked the interviewer in the butt. You seem like a really positive person. I was once asked my thoughts on diversity in the workplace. Problem is, I misheard and thought they asked my opinion on adversity, in which I went on to give me reasons why diversity I don't believe it should exist in the workplace, no. Do you mind if I get a glass of sex? I mean, water. Oh, God. First question of the interview. You got a job, which I heard as, you got the job. Oh, thanks. Didn't get the job. Do you like it? I misinterpreted for, do you like dick? And repeated what I thought I heard. Whole interview afterwards was awkward. What are your strengths? Do you mean if I can lift things? Figured it out after I left and cried. My first interview was at a movie theatre. The dude hit me with the, "Oh, what are your weaknesses?" question. I'd never heard it before. I then sit in silence for a solid 25 seconds before, in an attempt to break the silence, I mutter, "Oh, I'm trying to think of the worst one." When I show up, she tells me, "You a month late." My interview had gone well. Then at the end, she reached behind me to open the doors. It was a tiny office, and I thought she was giving me a hug, so I went for it. It was really awkward, and she didn't hug back. And what would you say your greatest assets are? I don't know what an asset is. I think that concludes this interview. Instead of saying spread my wings, I said spread my legs. Tell us a story about a time you had to make a quick decision. 100% unexpected. There was nothing in my brain. I made up a story about seeing a rabid dog and getting my father to put it down when I was a child. Knocked an entire carafe of ice water over the interview panel. Wore 2 different shoes to an interview at a fashion magazine. I called the interviewer by the wrong name. Instead of calling her Ms. Shader Jose, I called her, "Good morning, you must be Ms. Cheddar Horse." I accidentally handed the interviewer my medical marijuana card instead of my guard card. Passes vibe check. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that, should I? No, and you shouldn't have said that either. During the interview, I decided the best adjective to describe my last job was, and I quote, "a total boner." Interviewer asked what I looked for in a manager. Got nervous because she was the manager, started rambling, and ended with, "just not like a super crazy Nazi." Now, if you could be any animal, what would you be? A cat? I'm so lazy. Seriously though, what a shit question. Similar to a different Redditor, I was asked, "What do you think is your spirit animal?" I answered, "An elephant." Still, the girl sitting next to me panicked and answered, "Britney Spears." In my first ever interview at a printer's camera shop, I was asked to bring a chair into the office to sit on from outside in the corridor. I was so nervous that when it ended, I picked the chair up to leave, and the man said, "No, you can leave it here," and I was like, "Okay," and I took it outside with me anyway. I once got a call back to inform me they got my resume and cover letter, but will not be moving forward, then told me the reason was my lack of attention to detail. Guy then points out, instead of signing my cover letter sincerely, it was auto-corrected to sinisterly. A friend of mine had a great interview, was pretty confident that they were going to offer him the job. After it was done, he shook their hands and went to leave, except he took the wrong door and walked into the closet instead of out the exit. He was so embarrassed to admit his mistake that he stayed in there. The longer he was in there, the harder it was to leave. I mean, he knew he was in the closet. His interviewers knew he was in the closet. He was in there 20 minutes before he sheepishly emerged. Lady had just sanitized her hands and they weren't dry yet. Okay, well, just don't mention, "Oh, that was a creamy handshake." And whilst we're on the etiquette of handshaking, was told the hiring manager was a retired Marine, so to look him in the eye and give him a strong handshake. Being nervous, I was overzealous and jammed his thumb into my palm, spraining it. He asked his assistant to get him an ice pack and he iced it while I spoke. He was silent except for painful sighs, causing my nerves to intensify, which made my throat go bone dry and lose my voice. He brought me a glass of water, which just didn't help at all. Yeah, didn't get that job. No, didn't get that one. I said yes when they asked why they should hire me, loudly crying face emoji. "Do you have any prior experience with kids?" Well, I was one. My alarm went off. Samuel L. Jackson's voice spread through the room, telling me to wake the fuck up. Started comparing myself to the Amish during an interview for a tech support position. "Hi George, how are you doing today?" "Oh hi, my name's George." Oh wait, back when I, as a nervous teen, was sitting in the office of the theme park manager. Most of the interview had gone really well, and she opened up time for me to ask her any questions I had. So how did you and your husband meet? No, not questions like that. I sat with my legs crossed for the duration of the interview. I didn't realise I lost all feeling / control of my right leg, and when I stood up, I fell to the floor. The manager helped me stand up, and I fell again. Ultimately, 2 workers helped carry me out like a wounded soldier. Oh, so it says here you're bilingual. Yes, that's right. Parlez-vous français? Si! I told an interview I spoke a little Arabic. She was fluent and asked me to say a sentence. I said, "I like the meat." What's one word you would use to describe yourself? Probably ameliorific. Okay. I must admit, I'm not overly familiar with that word either. Oh, no. Manager who was interviewing me brought the person I'll be working with into the room to ask me some questions related to the position. Not only was this person his daughter, I had a one-night stand with her a year before. Not so much what I did during the interview, but what I read. Hiring someone for industrial sewer, drainage pipes work. What I showed up to interview for, industrial sewer, tailoring work. Felt like a complete tool. I made a 9/11 joke. At the end of the interview, they said, lovely to meet you, and I said, I love you too. Oh, I wouldn't call myself nice. A gnat or something flew up my nose, which caused me to shout, hey, what the fuck? Was near the end of my job interview, went to grab a pen to write down my hours. Took me a moment to realise I was trying to write with a tampon. Hey, how are you? Focusing so hard on the proper response, I choose the answer to a question never asked. Nothing. I threw up on the interviewer's desk. Just before I went in the room, I sneezed blood all over my white shirt. I told them I couldn't answer their questions, farted audibly out of stress, and thanked them for their time. No one shit their pants in this Ask Reddit thread yet. Odd. A friend of mine once sharted in the middle of a job interview. Edit. Oh wait, there it is. A friend of mine was being interviewed for a job at a restaurant. When asked who his role model was, he said Tyler Durden.
He was the guerrilla terrorist in the food service industry.
Do not watch. I cannot go and watch.
Apart from seasoning the lobster bisque, he farted on meringue, sneezed on braised endive, and as for the cream of mushroom soup, well...
I caught fire. I went to a company to take a welding test. I was told by HR that it was a TIG welding position. Turns out it was for car, and the spark set my nice TIG welding shirt on fire. Yeah, I didn't get the job. Hi, how are you?
Good, yeah, and you?
I'm doing well. How are you? It still keeps me up at night. Having a job interview, and it was pointed out that my fly was down. The woman interviewing me laughed and said something like, oh, it's the little things we forget. And for some reason, I replied, yeah, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. She gave me this bizarre look, and I realised that she thought I was talking about my penis. What the hell were you talking about, if not your penis? Haven't you ever heard that expression? If it was a snake, it would have bit me. No. I just repeated the same words over and over. It's like I got caught in a loop. What word? Really? 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 I went into my graphic design portfolio review with this as my computer background. On one of my first job interviews, I accidentally unhinged the sliding door when it was time to leave, blocking myself and the company's boss in the room until he managed to fix it. Not me, but my friend ate his interviewer's breakfast bagel before he came in the room. No idea how this happened. I'd been unemployed for a bit, was desperate for a new gig, had gained a lot of weight living off of fast food, so my good pants didn't fit me very well. I sat down in the interview chair as the person was walking around to their side of the desk, and the button of my pants popped off, did a one-hopper off of the desk and right into their coffee cup. Swish, and no clink at all. For the entire interview, they were sipping their coffee, and I was sitting there with my pants unbuttoned, waiting for the big reveal. Panicked, turned up a day too early. On the correct day, gave all the wrong answers to questions as the agency gave me the wrong job description. Throat dried up, voice became similar to that of Baker from the Muppets, and also managed to imply that I was learning German to understand fetish websites. Funnily enough, I didn't get the job. Went to an assessment centre recently for a job at a very big IT/business company. I told the interviewer I'm nervous when I walked through the door. I said no when asked, do you have any further questions? I was very bossy and uncooperative in the group activity task. I applied for a job that was unrelated to my degree. Oh,
Thank you.
I suggested cheating when doing a group activity task, which resulted in the assessors sighing loudly. Usually they don't interact with the candidates at all. And to top it off, I lost my train ticket, so I couldn't get reimbursed for the £100 journey fees. Mate, you are a complete fucking mess. In fact, I feel it might be useful if I gave you all some advice from my many years in the corporate world, interviewing and being interviewed. When asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Say it's an important part of the role you're applying for, looking back on everything you've learned. Don't say, not here. When asked, what makes you so special? Here's a chance to really highlight whatever your strongest attribute is, alongside an example of where you showcase that. Don't say, I'm a virgin. What are some of your pet peeves? Perhaps say something like peers with negative attitudes, or meetings without an established established schedule, yeah? Not spiders. Don't talk about strippers. If an office manager asks, now how would your friends describe you? They want to be hearing, like, organised, I'm always the one planning our days out, you know, rather than dangerous. Definitely do ask questions about the job, but if it's a professional environment, maybe refrain from asking how the vibes are there. And even if they're good, don't say something akin to, oh, pretty chill then, skull emoji. And when asking these questions, ask what a typical day looks like, rather than when can I start? Analog double finger guns emoji. If your interviewer has a gout-afflicted toe, consider not stepping on your interviewer's gout-afflicted toe. Oh, he howled in pain. And finally, try not to say, I don't actually want or need this job. I just really want to get out of the house and be around other people sometimes. Otherwise I'll go insane. And I don't know, blow up a library or something. Otherwise, you won't get the job. I got the job. Oh, I go show what I know. Last night, I dreamt I tweeted, I wish blankets grew from your head instead of hair so you'd always have a blanket with you. It got 7,000 retweets and Jay-Z quoted it and said, a zebra is just a dirty horse. So, there's been speculation as to why we never see phones in our dreams, but plenty of people disputed this, saying they have dreams in which they actively tweet. To be honest, I, many years ago as a student, had a dream which I then made a reality that I created the Facebook group. I hate it when I think walls firemen build out of tyres are actually rope. Oh, I mean, in my dream, and I can't stress this enough, this made absolute sense and I thought would easily go viral. 2 random bots joined it to promote an acai diet and I rediscovered it a long time later to some confusion. Now, let's see what else the subconscious is making people dream they tweeted. I mean, it could be genius. Do you still have all of your original fingers? I once had a dream that I tweeted, there are fish living inside my brain, just like that, and it got no likes and 3,000 private quote retweets. I had a dream that I tweeted about half mouse, half human nipples, and the first thing I did when I woke up was make sure I actually didn't tweet about it. I had a dream I tweeted this and it low-key blew up. I want to know the information. Last night I had a dream that I tweeted Happy New Year. Pun intended. And I don't know what it means. Dreamt I tweeted 1 quadrillion wasps. And everyone replied, that's too many wasps to tweet. You shouldn't have tweeted about so many wasps. And I hid all the replies. Lost my dad at the Tony Hawk concert. Has anyone seen him? This is a tweet I dreamt I tweeted. I asked a girl in my dream if she thought it was a good tweet. She said no. I dreamed about tweeting that I had 3 testicles. In the dream, I kept checking to make sure I had 3 instead of 2. Dreamed that I tweeted this exact tweet and it got like 1 million likes. Christmas, or as I like to call it, Lootmas. I'm a gamer. Last night, I had a dream. I tweeted something that got 23.6k likes in under half an hour. It was this. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th May are such beautiful dates. I'll give you a call on 5th May at 11 AM. Gorgeous. What the fuck is wrong with me? Had a dream I tweeted, well, it's not working on my device, and got mad when no one retweeted it. I had a dream I tweeted, colonoscopy would be a beautiful name for a girl. Red heart tulip. With those emojis. Had a nightmare. I tweeted something questioning religion, and somebody tweeted my baptism pics like, this you? Woke myself up with a start last night because I had a dream I tweeted celebrity doppelgangers that feel illegal, along with a photo of Matt Bellamy beside a photo of Amazing Phil from YouTube. The fuck was I on about? I feel like it's difficult for two people to look less alike. I had a dream I tweeted fast flying orb. I had a dream that my door caught on fire, and I literally dreamt that I tweeted, not my door catching on fire, exclamation mark / euro tilde asterisk pipe symbol comma asterisk pound / greater than pipe symbol euro tilde. I had a dream that I tweeted, can I evolve more please? And it got hundreds of replies from strangers asking, how many bones do you have? And I deactivated Book of It. Say, how many bones do you have? 300? Sorry, I looked up the wrong thing. That's how many babies have. Last night I dreamt I tweeted real lies on here, and it got 8,493,849,384 likes and retweets, which is slightly more than everyone in the world. I had a dream that I tweeted, me, it's lit. Italian me is so lit. And it got 100k plus retweets, and I was asked to go on Ellen. I had a dream that I tweeted, hello, and I got banned from Twitter. Had a dream that I tweeted, this masturbation shit, easy, and got 7 private quote retweets, and a bomb threat. I had a dream that I was abducted. In my dream, I tweeted for help. No one helped. You all said, oh, good luck. Hope you get out soon. Had a dream I tweeted this picture and captioned it something to the effect of, when you drive in bones. Had a dream doctors found weird hormones in my pee, and the doctor fully wrote like a child and spelled hormones as Harmon. Then I had a dream I tweeted about it, and I somehow demonstrated exactly how he wrote it in the tweet. It was like, I dreamed about moving to a big house and got so excited in the dream I tweeted with a wireless keyboard from another room. I remember the dream tweet letter by letter. Twetving Last night I dreamed that I tweeted a poorly transcribed recipe of the McDouble. It was like, McDonald's McDumble. 1 meat, 1 piece of top bread, 1 peak of bottom bread. Cheese! McDonald sauce. 1... Paginums. Nothing. Cook it. I had a dream I tweeted me in the womb out of context, and it was a picture of a horse. Dreamt I tweeted Shex fuckex, and for some reason it made me very sad. Had a dream I tweeted this and then got famous. That bird at my eggs. I had a dream that I tweeted pics of me on the toilet after many requests, and it got 6 likes. Had a dream I tweeted woke up with a bloody nose, and a British person said, we all wake up with noses, you twat. I had a dream that I tweeted the best part eating individual slices of cheeses that you get to ask each one why they are here. Had a dream that I tweeted, I just love salmon so much, and someone quote tweeted it, bears in the summer, be like, had a dream I tweeted something like this, and it was popular, so here goes, I guess. Pliers. Had a dream that I tweeted something like, you only crave water when you don't have any, and someone ratioed me with, yeah, it's called being thirsty, dumbass. LeMayo. I had a dream I tweeted the word piss last night, and it got like 100k likes and 50k retweets. What the fuck? Yeah, I had a dream that I tweeted, remember to pee first thing in the morning, and it went viral, and everyone was praising me like it was the most intelligent thing ever said. You know, there's quite a few of these to do with pee. I assume because while sleeping, you actually need to pee in RL, much like you're still aware of your bowels. I had a dream I tweeted my farts sound like red velvet caking falling through a PVC pipe. I dreamed that I tweeted something personal about myself, but Twitter added a tweet disclosure to it saying she's melodramatic and also wrong. I had a dream I tweeted about making banana soup, and for some reason the tweet went viral and everyone started calling me the banana soup girl. Loudly crying face emoji. Had a dream that I tweeted, how's it going with y'all all? And everyone started clowning me, replying with, oh, y'all all. I've been having very vivid dreams lately, and last night I dreamt I tweeted an image of Alexander and his Macedonians burning Persepolis, captioned, white boy summer. I dreamed that I tweeted, I can't talk right now, I'm doing hot girl stuff while shopping downtown with Bernie Sanders. Had a dream I tweeted at Barack Obama, "You are so fucking hot." And he replied with an Uno reverse card. What the actual fuck does this mean? Dreamed I tweeted, putting my ear up to a pussy to hear the ocean. And former President Bill Clinton quote tweeted, I think I had a dream I tweeted something about Ed Balls. Ed Balls? Ed Balls. If you don't know, on the afternoon of April 28th, 2011, our Shadow Chancellor of the Exchequer, Ed Balls, accidentally tweeted at Ed Balls, and everyone replied, Ed Balls. Had a dream I tweeted, "There's liver in my blood." Uncommon. With a fucking picture of a man standing in my hallway. I dreamed that I tweeted, "I know everything," and someone replied asking what I knew, and I responded saying, I don't know. In my dream, I tweeted, "I only buy year-long insurance for my snowboard because in the off-season I use it to butter my bread. Not only is it odd I dreamed this, but also why wouldn't I just use a knife?" At Sea California tweets they had a dream that they tweeted something, then woke up from that dream to tweet about that they just dreamt about tweeting. I just dreamed that I tweeted, "Detective, I love Sundays." Earlier today, I dreamt I tweeted, "Show me your most niche porn." And then, mere moments later, 100 plus DMs all sending me this exact same image. Sorry, is that not a skull emoji? I had a dream last night about guillotines, and in the dream I tweeted, "Thanks for coming to my behead talk," and you all really loved it. I had a dream that I tweeted something about McDonald's, and the official McDonald's Twitter responded with, "What the fuck does this mean?" Had a dream that I tweeted, "When daddy's money is frog emoji, knife emoji," and hours later I still have no idea. Had a dream that I tweeted, "April Fools bring May gabagools," and it went viral. And to be fair, they've posted this to 149,000 likes. I had a dream that I tweeted something about cups, and it went viral, so here I am shooting my shot. Cups! No likes. Had a dream I tweeted, "Back scratches are goated." Makes you wonder how many likes it would have gotten. Well, I thought I'd find out for you, so I tweeted it myself, and it made some okay numbers in 24 hours. Lots and lots of people relating to it. People saying it reminded them of my old tweets. Some confusion, obviously. And, a bit of thinking maybe my cat had tweeted it. I dreamed that I tweeted Colgate, telling them it was a teeth paste, not toothpaste. Well, I tried that for you too. No response. Dreamt I tweeted, "Cereal in a glass hits different." So I'ma try it. Please allow me with my usual scientific precision.
Alright, shit off. Got quite high hopes for this. I mean, yeah.
Look, I dreamt I tweeted about chili flakes and iced water. Did ya?
Seems like enough. Well.
Dreamed I tweeted, "You're a nihilist? Cool. What do you nihil?" And then my laptop exploded in the dream and I awoke in a panic. Dreamt I tweeted, "Damn, she thick as hell." About Meg from Family Guy and desperately kept trying to delete it and the site wouldn't let me. It was fucking horrifying. I had a dream I tweeted, "Noticed how you've never seen anyone talk shit about Kirby." But as I posted that, reality distorted and spooky Nintendo men in black came to capture me. Nugduv Juffucks Hugg Budded. I tweeted tennis but with magic. Rich people be calling their dad, "Father, seen any good bugs lately?" 1999 was 3 years ago. Let that sink in. Grapes are a bath time food? I'm gonna eat a rock. Imagine adults looked exactly like babies, only much bigger. Pooping alone again. Bart and Lisa Simpson look like they should be called Kevin and Barbara. I wanna tug some pubes! Last night I dreamt I tweeted a picture of myself with the words, "Let's get this boy on the internet." I dreamt I tweeted something in Japanese, and I'll never know what it said because I can't read Japanese. Fell asleep in the middle of my homework and dreamt I tweeted, "What is realism?" Not my dream. I tweeted, "If this is a dream, I'm going to be so fucking pissed." I had a dream about tweeting, just this. Dreamt I tweeted this out, saying just fondly remembering our war dead, and everyone got mad at me. This, for the unaware, is from a 90s baseball video game where a Japanese game designer had to make up a bunch of American names, such as Willie Dustis, Carl Dandleton, Bobson Dugner, and Dwiggett Portugal. Last night I had a dream that I tweeted something like the tortoise and the hare pulled off the greatest heist of all time, and it got retweeted by Danny DeVito. I had a dream I tweeted about how poor I was, and Taylor Swift messaged me, I saw your tweet, I just sent you 1 Bitcoin. Smiling face with 3 hearts emoji. I dreamt that I tweeted Hank Green gave me a can of peas at Hank Green, and that he told me I didn't give you a can of peas. I had a dream I tweeted Kim K with braids looks like the Triceratops from Land Before Time, and people got mad, but I don't know, I think my subconscious made some points. I had a dream that I tweeted this. No one, absolutely no one, Jennifer Aniston, I have a ponytail. I had a dream that I tweeted Melissa McCarthy a picture of my cat with human lips and said, I like listening to Phil Collins, and she mentioned it in an interview, and they printed a picture of my cat with human lips, and next thing I knew I was flying first class with Jenny from The Chase. Dreamt I tweeted that Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire was irresponsible and a negative influence on his kids, and his ex-wife was right not to let him see them, and everyone hated me for it. I'm gonna start posting all my hot takes with Dreamt I tweeted too. It's a good heat deflection tool. Cheers. It's the perfect crime. But here's a dream tweet which I'm pretty sure is not just a craftily disguised hot take. Look, I've been reading stuff off the internet for some years now, and this is one of the weirdest. Had a nightmare. I posted a pic of my grandpa that died when I was a baby, and Twitter deemed him in their new sexy man and drew pictures of him getting railed by old men from various fandoms. This site's giving me actual brain damage. I just had a dream that I tweeted, this is the end, while half asleep. What the fuck does that mean? When I was 6, I saw my cousin playing The Sims 2 at a family thing, and I wanted to make my cats on it, so she let me play around with it. I made a cute couple, but accidentally made them woohoo, and since I was 6 and always told that sex was bad, I freaked out and shut the laptop. Luckily, it was time for lunch, so I just left it and ate. When I came back a few hours later, the mum was dead, there was a toddler crying in a puddle in front of an art easel, every breakable thing was broken, and the dad was just relaxing on his front lawn wearing a llama costume. I never played it again. The Sims, the fun life simulator game where you can do whatever you want. People have even made me. And you know, I thought I used to be evil and edgy as a kid, making Sims torch their houses with fireworks, until I compared that to some of the confessions on Reddit. Well, I'll warn you now, these are worse. I made a guy with the neurotic and neat traits. I put him in a fence in the middle of the kitchen with a lawn sprinkler going. He would frantically mop up the water every time the sprinkler splashed the floor. Eventually he began passing out and pissing himself. I left him in there until he mopped himself to death. I was starving my Sim, and he sneakily called up for a pizza. When it was delivered, I made him throw it in the garbage. Then he cried. My daughter has developed her evil side nicely with the game. Her favourite was to set up a zoo of Sims, all locked into their own rooms, with full windows so visitors could watch. Analog disapproving face emoji! I burned the house down while attempting to make 2 of them have gay sex. I managed to get 2 of them to kiss and fall in love, but in the background, the mother is just screaming, and I'm like, oh shit, is she homophobic? After changing the camera angle, I find out, oh no, the house is on fire. I was always too lazy to actually build my own home from scratch, and so whenever I started a new file, my immediate goal was to move into the nicest house already on the map. I had an affair with the lady of the house, convinced her to divorce her husband, married her, moved into the house, knocked her up for good measure, divorced her and kicked her out of the house. Can't you just go to Townview, evict the family living there and then move in? Where's the fun in that? I impregnated my girlfriend's daughter, married my girlfriend, and technically had a child with my stepdaughter. You're still talking about The Sims, right? I made my Sims sleep with all the women in the neighbourhood and abandoned the bastard children to be raised by the mothers' families. Here is the family tree. Was obviously a bit gay. Didn't realise this at the time, but my Sims games should have been a dead giveaway. Lesbians everywhere. All lesbians with kids, best friends living together, super hot female celebrities woohooing it up by the water slide. Entire town was a veritable lesbian paradise. Except for one guy. Imagine this, you're a perfectly attractive young man who moves to the centre of Clungeville, but because your malevolent sapphic creator is working out her issues, old pussy is off limits. I'm sorry, Greg. Once made a normal sim and went about his natural life, except he always hated this one other sim. They loathed each other with a passion. So I tracked down his granddaughter, convinced her to move in, along with his nemesis, and trapped him in a small room next to their bedroom. I put up a full-wall mirror to simulate a one-way mirror, and my sim spent the rest of his life making woohoo with his enemy's granddaughter while he watched from the next room. Jesus! Made a cult. I made a handsome sim and had him steal several women who were locked in an underground facility. He would talk and have little dates to see which one he liked the most. The others were executed by electrocution. My brother made a breeding complex in The Sims 2 using restroom doors reversed to cull males and female children into chambers. Males were led to a pool without a ladder and females were cycled back to the breeding chamber. I was at firefighter training for 18 weeks and came back to that. This sim robbed my sim's house, so I got my sim to befriend him, make him fall in love, cheat on his wife and family, and ditch them to marry my sim. Then I invited his mother and father and ex-wife and his kids to my place for a barbecue. I ended up burning him and all his family and ex-wife in a room filled with carpets and fireplaces, no doors or windows. My sim sat on a mezzanine looking down into the carnage below. Don't rob my sim's house! I recently found out you can kill old sims by overexertion in The Sims 4. My sim's going around town fucking all the old people to death, and once death shows up, she proceeds to make friends with him. I'm counting up graves until my sim can bang death. I managed to get a heat of the moment kiss in on him. One time I killed a sim by drowning. Then I made everyone show up to his funeral in swimwear. I put the phone too close to the stove. When it caught fire, they tried to call 911, but just burned to death reaching for the phone. I'd host a fake reality show with my sims called Who Dies First? 4 sims on an empty lot, starve them to death, winner would get a house. You watch, give it a year, Netflix will have that. When I have no simoleons left, I'd invite neighbours to a party, trap them, let them die and sell their urns so I could buy pizza. Oh no. Sims 1 Deluxe, I had at least like 200 graves. I had the largest lot in the game and filled every space with a tomb except for the swimming pool used to kill them. I was 10. Yeah, my friend and I did something similar to this, but we made a lone man a groundskeeper of the town graveyard. Every night, 6 to 12 ghosts would torment the man in his little shack. It went on for about 4 weeks, then one day went to bed and slept for 5 days. Please, look at my creation. It's my sim mausoleum. Right, how are you doing? Yeah, fine. Yeah. At E3, the first year it was shown, I went on the demo unit and killed off all the sims. Right afterwards, a camera crew came to record a segment on the game and the PR person freaked out because they didn't know what to do about the dead sims. PR person. And here we have the, oh my god, they're all dead. I used to work on the game. While developing the Sims 1 expansion pack, Making Magic, we discovered that cars had always been flagged as flammable, but never caught fire because of the natural firebreak of the sidewalks. We found this out when someone's misbehaving baby dragon walked out into traffic, torched the school bus, and all the neighbourhood kids stumbled off the bus in flames. I admit to testing this a few times after it was discovered, but before it was fixed. I had a normal suburban family, nice house, 2 kids, the works. Except they also had a secret child they kept locked in a room in the basement with nothing but a sink. They only ever visited him to bring him a plate of old terrible food once in a while and to taunt him.
Bloody, that's a bit much even for me.
I briefly fell asleep while playing, and when I awoke, Child Protection Services had taken the child away like the parents were gaming. I remember reading somewhere that someone let Child Protective Services take their child because it was ugly. Oh, you're thinking of this post! I had 2 very attractive sims and they had a baby, but the kid was hideous, so I had it taken away. Then they had a daughter and she was beautiful, but once she started school, she brought a friend home. It was the first kid. They say GTA's a bad game, desensitizing us all. Just look at this. I trapped a little girl in a room full of gnomes and she slowly starved in a puddle of piss. I added her to my collection of graves. In the first Sims, I discovered making gnomes and selling them, or gnoming as I called it, was more profitable than having a career. So I built a sweatshop in the back of my house and had 6 employees making gnomes almost non-stop. There was happy music playing to keep their spirits up, and they were allowed to sleep to make sure they continued making gnomes. There were no doors to this room. My sim then lived in luxury. Well, this reminds me of the famous paint goblin strategy, where you make a green-skinned sim, lock them underground, make them endlessly paint, and sell their work for big money. My family always ends up feeling blessed because of their fortune, and they never find out about the horrible secret living beneath their home, but I prefer this. With my starting money, I was able to build a workroom and a separate bedroom for the slave master. A close-up of my work area. Looks like my previous job. This is where I forced the slaves to write books and screenplays to publish. So each morning I would collect a large sum of royalties. Oh yeah, I made them all wear hot dog suits. One of my slaves, a Mopin, somehow died within 20 minutes. He was let off easy, I guess. I accidentally locked in my maid when she came to clean up all the crap these hot dogs have been making. She started going crazy and took her clothes off. This is what a pregnant hot dog looks like. This kid will never go to school. He will work for me until death. I would train my son to be a good enough painter to do screenshot paintings. I then forced him to paint me naked or having sex with his mother / other women. I hung the paintings everywhere. I had a sim befriend neighbours, take them down to his basement, build a chain link fence cell around them, and then he would take photos of them sobbing. He then sold those to other sims, including to people related to the kidnapped ones, at his private art gallery. The fact that we're separated by the internet makes me feel safe. I drowned one of my sims in a pool while her mother stood at the side and took pictures. Then I put all of the pictures on the wall of her bedroom and kept making the mother look at them. Hey! I used to make a huge maze to the toilet and fill the walls with art. They'd start walking towards the toilet, stop and look at the art like, wow, well, this is cool. They'd start walking to the toilet, piss themselves and cry, and then stop and look at the art like, oh wow, well, this is pretty good too. Again, reminds me of this creation. The carpool will arrive in 1 hour. Sim takes 7 hours to reach street running. Sim passes out twice, pisses himself once along the way, finishes last hour of shift, heads home, walks the whole way back as around a 14-hour trip, walks through the front door. The carpool will arrive in 1 hour. I once created a sim named the God of Rock. I dressed him up like Zeus and put him in an opulently decorated labyrinthine mansion with the only item in it being a guitar at the centre. I made him play every hour of every day until he'd pass out. I don't remember how it ended, but I swear to God I heard him play a lick from Stairway to Heaven once. My sim was the Emperor of Evil and therefore made enemies just by being near people regularly. This was The Sims 3, so I bought him the legendary host aspiration reward, which meant that every time he threw a party, 1, all invited guests would show up, 2, they would always have a great time. Every week he'd invite the person he liked least and their entire family to a party, and they'd ring the doorbell and come into the giant party hall, which was packed with elaborate rugs and plants, and also lined with fireplaces. Then I turned on the classical music from the speakers and watched as all the guests panicked as their family burned to death in the hall. Any survivors who managed to get out had to tell their host how great the party was before they could go, and they also had to show up again when he invited them the next week. I imprisoned a Sam in a personal basement with everything he hated. He didn't like to look at himself, instead of walls he had mirrors. He hated animals, I put a bunch of dogs in his room. He hated art, I made him constantly paint and sculpt. I felt like a horrible monster. But
yeah, well, I enjoy it.
I locked a guy on a 1x1 square, then kept building it forward, and as he walked I would delete the walls behind him and keep building, so he kept walking in circles, going nowhere. I used to love making my sim go to work in nothing but his Speedos. Made a vegetarian sim, would only cook burgers for him. Locking a 12-year-old girl in a windowless room with a travelling rodeo clown. Starve them to death, electrocute them, drown them, watch them burn in a fire. Send their kid to military school. I put a jukebox on a platform and set it to country, out of his reach. I killed my teenage son because he had really small arms. In Sims 2, there was a slider glitch in the creator, so I made a few families of grotesque Sims. And it's true, whether by bug or design, there are some truly disturbing things to be made in The Sims. Cheeks that were 5 feet wide, eyes 3 feet tall, etc. My sister had some Sims in the same neighbourhood, more specifically her 3 friends and their 4 crushes, all in the same house. She got pissed that my fucked up Sims would come over to say hi when she was playing. After that, I made an effort to have my Sims infiltrate her and her friends' bloodlines. I slowly developed relationships between the families and eventually started a new generation. My sister's reaction to her Sims' new romance and bastard children was priceless. The children all had cheeks 3 feet wide and either super large or tiny eyes. 10 out of 10 would relive that moment again. My sister went on my account and drowned my whole family in the pool. Didn't let them sleep, forced them to swim till they died. I was like 6. Every time I bring it up today, she laughs maniacally. She's a lawyer. At work, we had a boss nobody could stand. He was mean-spirited, argumentative, just a general pain in the ass. I went to a party and the host was messing around with the Sims and we decided to make a Sim of the boss and torture him in Sim ways, making him pee himself, lock him in a room till he goes crazy. I was eventually setting him on fire. It was very cathartic and we were having a good laugh until one of our co-workers burst into tears because she was dating him and we just burned Jim in virtual effigy. Oops, tell me about it. My dad and brother saw me burn one old lady in a death room over a decade ago and still bring it up to this day. So, Canal, what's the worst thing you've done in The Sims? I want to set up a Sim to have my exact life. The Sim spent all the time crying, analog confused face emoji. I stopped playing after that. This is my cat. His name is Bamboo. Hey Bam, you gonna say hello? Ah! Most of the time, he's a pretty pleasant fella to be around. Yeah, he does this, and this, and this. What are you doing? And he shreds toilet roll, and he fell in the goddamn bath and looked like a rat for an afternoon. But by and large, he's cool. Whilst compiling all your toy stories for part 2 of the Furby video, I thought I'd remind myself that Bamboo could be a lot worse, by looking through Reddit threads such as these. My dog dug up my neighbour's cable line on Super Bowl Sunday when they had a big crowd coming over. My cat pissed on the wedding dress in the centre the day before the wedding. My cat once caught a falcon, but didn't kill him. He dragged the bird into the house and set him free. Great, thanks Carlos. Dog got into the bathroom trash can and decorated my body while I was asleep with shredded bits of used tampons. Thanksgiving morning, my fat ass dog stuffed herself through someone's cat door and stole a marinating roast beef. Came home with it and tried to hide it. Attacked a man dressed as Santa, was asked to leave PetSmart and not return. Humped a baby carriage while a baby was inside it. Shit on the ceiling. I have no clue how. I had a black lab who would always be bringing things home that he found, more like stole, from around the neighbourhood. One day he came home with a child's prosthetic leg with shoe attached. We were horrified, checked around and no one in our immediate neighbourhood claimed it. We took it to a community centre about half a mile away and hoped that someone might find out who is missing their leg. The damn dog went and stole it again and brought it back home. I have 2 cats. One once peed on my housemate's bed while my housemate was in it, and the other brought a live pigeon into the house and murdered it in my living room while I was in the middle of a phone interview. My female dachshund ate all of my birth control pills and 2 days later started humping our male dachshund to assert her dominance. Projectile vomited off the side of the bed, exorcist style, then looked at his bath like, oh, gross, how can you live this way? I left my little dog at my old apartment and went to the new house to get some things done. There was nothing in the apartment except for a few of his toys and a bowl of water. He didn't touch the toys, instead he shredded the Venetian blinds in the bedroom. My dog bit a door-to-door salesman, right in the testicles. My kitten took a shit on a book my friend bought me about house training a cat. My husband and I stayed overnight at my parents' one Christmas. I just had a baby, so we were using condoms for protection. My father's new puppy dug through the trash and pulled out our used condom. My dad picked her up and saw she was chewing something. He reached into her mouth and pulled out a used rubber, load still in it. Last year, 2 days before Christmas, I came home to a disaster. My dog had shredded all of the presents. packages and contents. The one thing she didn't destroy? Her Christmas present, which had dog treats inside. My dog ate all my shoes and Xmas decorations, like a styrofoam Santa and reindeer with lights when he was a big pup. Also peed on a guy's wheelchair. Cat turned off my computer in the middle of a 14-14 Counter-Strike Global Offensive match. My dog herded 5 sheep into the ocean. They just disappeared into the sea. He caught a bush cockroach, Australia's native cockroach species, so naturally they are massive, and brought it into the bedroom. I thought I'd Google bush cockroaches, I mean they can't be that big. Jesus Christ. I was laying in my bed as I heard a sparkling sound. My cat was standing there and just casually pissing in a wall socket. My dog once turned on the gas on the stove when I wasn't home. Luckily I came back within the hour, otherwise he probably would have killed himself and burned the house down. Plugged the sink, turned on the faucet, and ended up flooding the basement. When I showered, he managed to throw a tablecloth on a burning candle. My cat chewed through my dad's oxygen cord while he was sleeping, on 3 separate occasions. Yeah, we're pretty sure he's trying to off him. Humped my grandma in front of the whole family. Shit in my Lego box. Well, my dog is a racist. He only barks at Asians. And chewed my mum's Shania Twain ticket. My cat caught a mouse outside, brought it into the house and let it go. In the bed. I was woken up by her chasing it up and down my spine. My old roommates had a big sweet dog. I'm not entirely sure if the dog killed a rabbit, but I do know that he kept bringing pieces of it in. It started with the head, which he brought in during a party and dropped it in the middle of the floor, causing everyone to start screaming. My cat Taxi has single-handedly destroyed a tile in my kitchen by throwing a bottle onto it. It has climbed in my antique Garuda statue, destroying the wings. I sleep with on my side, with my arms stretched out in front of me, and a few weeks after I got my youngest cat, I woke to him simultaneously attacking my fingers and farting directly into my face. My cat sprayed into my PC fan on the side of the case. It corroded everything that is of value. I got the PC for my 21st birthday and I had it for a few weeks. I was left with 1 stick of working RAM. At least you were left with the memory. My dog jumped up onto the bed after we got a new puppy, looked me dead in the eye, and then proceeded to take the largest piss of her little life all over my mattress, literally as I was about to get in bed after a 20-hour day. That's a nice story there, thank you. Ask about my balls. My birds got out of the cage, flew right on over to my favourite blanket, and proceeded to violate it with unstoppable discharge from the depths of their birdie bowels. Thanks, massive swinging cock. Owned a rat once. It pissed on me, so I named it Piss. My snake spray shat my now boyfriend the first night he stayed over to watch a movie. Had a sulphur-crested cockatoo rescue in the house for a few months. Made a shepherd's pie. It took forever to make and was my pride and joy I was going to live off for the week. It was massive. Left it in the kitchen to cool until I heard excited squawking. The cockatoo flew into it and was treating it like a bird bath, dunking his head and flapping his wings in the gravy, then shit in it. I have an African grey parrot. He managed to find our downstairs telephone interconnect and disconnect the phone line. We still haven't managed to fix the removal of this line 2 years later. I know it's weird, but I sleep with my bird sometimes. She sleeps in my neck. One time I wake up and couldn't open my left eye. Turns out she shat in it. Crawled on me while I was asleep and bit my nose, then flew away squawking triumphantly. Sorry, squeaking triumphantly. I was peeing with the door open. Dude. And my bunny came hopping in the room. I said, hello and such. Bunny looked at my pee stream and before I knew it, she jumped into the toilet bowl. Such horror. As she was sitting in there chest deep in gross toilet pee water and getting splattered with fresh pee still as I didn't have enough time to stop the hose without hitting her stupid dumb face with my stupid dumb wiener pee. Brought my hedgehog to my friend's house. She wandered the floor for a bit. I know this isn't necessarily a misspelling or grammar video, but bead adorable for about 3 minutes, then took a shit in the corner of his kitchen. So I used to have this ball python. He'd often crawl on me and curl up for warmth. On this particular occasion, he came sniffing around my face right as I yawned. When I did, a small tear came out of my eye, which he licked. A second later, he latched onto my eyebrow like it was some furry little rodent. I sat right up, holding the 4-foot snake straight off my face. He let go after a few seconds, and we didn't talk for the rest of the day. My fish just sits there and judges me silently. A friend of mine had a dog that ate one of her brother's G.I. Joe dolls. She, the dog, was fine, but the next time she pooped, all that was left of the doll was one arm holding a grenade sticking up out of the turd. My cat knocked the urn containing the ashes of my mother-in-law off the mantle. Well, I took my dog, a 14-month-old Rhodesian Ridgeback, into work yesterday for the first time. She proceeded to piss in my boss's office twice. I had a pair of brown Converse sneakers, not the Chuck Taylors, and they were my favourite pair of shoes. My Great Dane chewed one of them up, but left the other one to mock me. My old cat jumped up on the stove and pissed in my roommate's birthday cake. Our cat shit into the sound hole of my guitar. This My old pup popped my parents' waterbed. My mum had a flower in her high school yearbook that my dad gave her in the 70s when they first started dating. Our dog sniffed at the flower and ate it. Ripped up 2 couches! My dog broke a glass sliding door, 4 pairs of 3D glasses, 1 PS3 remote, 1 N64 remote, 2 Wiimotes with nunchucks, an ungodly amount of paper towel and pencils. My dog once jizzed on my brother's bed. Dog hid half a stick of butter in the couch cushion very effectively. Mother-in-law found it when she sat down. The next door neighbour's kid was terrified of dogs. We had a big Labrador, and whenever he came near, the kid would cross his arms and freeze. The dog just pissed on his legs as he stood there frozen. My dog bit through some leashes when he was a puppy. One day he got loose on a walk, stole the baseball that was in play at a high school game, and ran victory laps around the diamond with the ball in his mouth until someone caught him. Out on a walk, dog is acting normal through the whole walk, get home and the dog bolts upstairs to wherever. After a moment I walk upstairs to get something and hear the dog chew on something under the bed, so I investigate. I reach under the bed and pull it out, only to find it's a crack pipe. Somehow, somewhere along our walk, the dog had found it and hid it in her mouth and proceeded to sneakily act like everything was kosher until we got home when ran and hid from us. My cat wanted pets at some random time in the middle of the night. After waking up both of us, my wife shoved him off the bed, so he jumped back up and proceeded to teabag her. Literally rubbed his little cat sack across her face. In middle school, I used to have a cat. The worst thing I can think of that he did was steal all the potatoes out of our pantry and hide them under my mum's bed. What the heck? That sounds like a fucking nursery rhyme or something. My dog shit on my passenger seat when I was on a date. I'm lactose intolerant but love chocolate, so I spend a lot of time with digestive problems. One time a few Easters ago I was lying on my back in bed nursing an angry chocolate belly, as I call it, and my beautiful, built like a brick shithouse Persian cross was sat on top of the wardrobe next to the bed. Style. She swan dives off the wardrobe onto my stomach, causing me to vomit all over my bed. My boy cat bites my nipples to wake me up at 4 AM. Chow Chow bit my hand. I had to go to the ER for a class 3 dog bite, is what they called it. This was over a sock. This next post is a bit odd. It's sort of written like a beat poem. My new dog. I've bought this a week ago. I just want to saying that one night I was going for dinner outside. My dog was in his small house. There was darkness of night. He could not saw me, but suddenly he come my near and hang me with his teeth. Oh my god, his teeth was very hard. My girlfriend and I were having sex doggy style when her dog got under us and started licking my balls. What the fuck? My beagle got loose, jumped into my neighbour's pond and ate their expensive koi.
But why'd I have the ball part?
Once when I was young, our cat aborted its babies in my bed while I was sleeping, so I therapied through that. When my poodle was a puppy, she was playing and pulled the emergency string thing in the wall of our apartment, setting off the alarm in the middle of the night. The neighbours called the cops, not to check on us, but to file a noise complaint. My after-school club I went to when I was maybe 9 or 10 was having a pet show where we could bring in our various animals and show everyone all of the cool tricks they could do. We'd just gotten our first dog a few years ago and I didn't have many friends of that age and figured if I bring in my dog and show off all of her amazing tricks, the standard sit, stay, speak, etc., I would suddenly be swarmed with new best friends. Come my turn, my dog and I take the stage and I'm holding treats over her head trying to get her to speak. She is generally disinterested and instead takes a huge sloppy rancid shit all over the stage, which I had to clean up in front of everyone. This story's really too long to read out in its entirety, but thankfully you only need to see one line to get the gist. When I get to the living room, my dog Thaddeus is munching on this dildo in front of all these women. I have a Lhasa mix, my in-laws have a golden doodle. In-law's dog relaxing on floor, my dog goes over to her and proceeds to fuck her directly in the face. My friend has 2 male cats who are deeply in love with each other. They're too fat and lazy to have kitty sex though, so they just cuddle and lick each other's assholes. Her mum is super Christian and anti-gay, and we're both pretty sure she's waiting for the cats to kick the bucket. They're both about 10, so good luck there. I love Hunter and Bubba. Ate a bunch of used aquarium sand. All that time he dug a hole through the bathroom door, or when he released all the other dogs and relaxed in the front yard while they went swimming in a pond a mile away. My pug ate a full bag of pistachios and felt like a beanbag for a week. My dog ate an iPhone cable. It apparently didn't digest because it was dangling out of his arsehole the next day. My wife will say that the worst thing he's done is eat 2 dozen lemon cupcakes that she was going to bring to an engagement party 30 minutes before she was to leave. My dog drank an entire bottle of baby oil. It went through her like a bullet train. She ate those blue tablets that go in the toilet and turn the toilet water blue, proceeded to shit bright blue shit nuggets all over the floor. Our overly hyper hell dog Spitz named Warlock once ate $250 in $50 bills that fell out of a friend's pocket while he was crashing on our couch. Had a 100+ pound Doberman and while we were out he ate the wall. Not a corner where he could wrap his math around. He ate the flat part of a wall. This was about 10 years ago and to this day I have no idea how he managed to do it. During my bar mitzvah, my dog ate a Nerf football. My dog ate a full box of latex gloves. Ate his marriage certificate, one of my disposed pads, my wife's hearing aids, my GameCube memory card, an approximately 130-year-old Italian chessboard, the baby's first Christmas ornament, my husband's patent paperwork, eat my fucking pizza. My pitbull ate my passport 3 days before I was leaving for the Caribbean. We bought an aerosol can of smelly stuff that stops a dog from chewing things. Our dog chewed the can. Once he pulled a full pot roast off the kitchen counter while he was home alone, ate the entire thing, and then vomited into the couch. My mutt, a Great Dane Labrador mix, once ate some kind of plastic. When it finally made its way through him, it got stuck in his ass and he couldn't get it out. Finally, he reaches around with his head, pulls the plastic out of his ass and proceeds to eat it all over again. When my dog was a puppy, she used to swallow pebbles. She would poop and cry and I'd have to put on a latex glove and pull it out of her ass. One day she was squatting and crying, so I sighed and put on my glove. I pulled out an intact condom. I then immediately threw up and she tried to eat that too. As you can possibly tell, for the final part of this video, we're moving into more visceral stories. So if you're watching this whilst eating dinner, maybe put the plate aside for a couple of minutes. My dog shit on the floor and the Roomba smeared it all over. Stepped in his own poo in the litter box and tracked it through the house. I call it poop footing. Ate bad ham. Had diarrhea, ate diarrhea, vomited the diarrhea all over my girlfriend's computer bag. I had a rescue cat take watery shits in about $300 worth of shoes in one day. And my cat, when we have displeased him, likes to poop behind the front door. That way, when we come home and open the door, we smear poop all over the underside of the door and create an arc of smashed poop on the floor. My dog puked on the couch and then took a blanket and covered it, complete with tucking blanket into couch and covering with pillows. I discovered this when pulling the blanket over myself. Immediately after doing the pre-inspection clean of our old apartment, getting ready to move out, my dog took a giant runny poop on the carpet while walking from the bathroom to the bedroom, making eye contact with me the entire time. Then she proceeded to throw up like 15 times in her kennel out of stress. My cat shat on my mother's shoulder while we were driving. A friend of mine was visiting and my dog took a shit in their duffel bag. My friend wouldn't discover this until they were unpacking their things after their 8-hour drive home. My cat sneezed and diarrhea shit on my wife's alarm clock. We didn't realise this had happened until the alarm went off and she hit snooze. Worst cat moment? The Wombo Combo. Took a big wet shit in a litter box but didn't bury it. The smell hit me immediately. She hissed at her own poop, I can only assume because of the size, then immediately puked on 2 separate rugs and then flopped down like nothing happened. This all happened in the span of 20 seconds. My cat once smeared poop on my computer screen because I wasn't paying attention to her. While camping, my dog barfed into my open, snoring mouth. Woke me up by being sick into my arse crack. We had a kitten named Charlie. My brother was playing with Charlie and was laying down, holding the cat above him. Charlie took a shit, and I don't know the details, but some of the shit got inside of my brother's nose. My dog was puked and did diarrhea on the stairs, then slipped in the shit puke, then fell down the stairs and got covered in it. Then he began to eat the shit puke, and then my other dog started licking the shit puke dog's ass. I tell you, some of these things are hard to read. Well, one of my cats just decided to get on my keyboard for attention. When she did, she opened another tab to the front page of Reddit and then opened a video of tapeworm coming out of a cam girl's butt. What? My dog has a bad chicken allergy. We discovered this by letting her have chicken one day. She later went to use the bathroom, got spooked by a cow across the road and barked at it. Every time she woofed, she shat a jet of liquid hell out of her ass. It splattered all over my legs and shoes. I wasn't sure whether to laugh or throw up, so I just sat there. My senile dog took a crap behind the computer rolling chair. He also chomped one of his craps and I had to tug a ward out of his mouth. Always took a crap in the vet's office in protest. His craps were not your normal craps. They stunk up the whole house for hours. It was an indescribable stench from hell. One time he peed on a baby. But the worst thing he's ever done was leave me alone to face this world without him. Rest in peace, Alvin. You're heavily missed. Indeed, a huge amount of Redditors posted that the worst thing their pet did was go and bloody die on them. Yes, they eat our food and destroy our things and literally shit on our faces.
But even when it seems like these pets of ours might be the embodiments of pure evil, we'd miss them if they weren't around. Eh?
I want to bring something up. This is nothing to him. He has 1.1 million Steam points. These are like 2,000.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
This is like a CEO offering a pizza party after like making 10 times their normal profit. Tag. A children's game for fun. Wait, let me fix that. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Put that word right there. There, now it's entertaining. I made tag horrible. Basically, I took tag and I turned it into an all luck based game. The bad kind of luck too. Then, I got the world's luckiest YouTuber and the world's unluckiest YouTuber, also Fur. Enjoy the video. To decide who's gonna go first, I'm thinking of the number 1,000,000 right now. All of you say a number, whoever is furthest away, you're it.
1,000,000.
Okay.
74.
Spiff?
2.
Okay, Spiff, you're gonna start out by being it.
Whoa, what the hell? Okay.
Alright, this is gonna be the
Whoa.
game map. If it doesn't make sense, that's okay. These are your colors. Spiff, you're blue. Rarin, you're green. And Fur, you're white. I was gonna have you be red, Rarin, but then it looked too much like the French flag.
That's understandable.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn up to
Yeah.
a recording if that was the case.
Alright. Okay, Spiff, you'll move 1. Rarin, you get to move 3.
Nice.
Wait a minute, that's not right.
Wait, what do you mean?
You shouldn't be able to move 3 spaces. 1 second, I'm changing this.
Scammed.
Oh, this is good.
Alright, we're doing that again.
Okay, yeah, let's do a reroll
What?
again.
Reroll, we're having
I mean,
fun.
I rolled
had
a
a
1.
good roll. I had a good roll. Oh, mine's the same. I don't care anymore.
Okay, Spiff 1, Rarin 1, Fur 2. And then 0 for the orange.
What is orange?
No comment.
I would imagine it's the orange at the bottom, and it's just going to keep progressively moving up.
That's a matter of opinion. Okay, Rarin, you're up first.
I guess I'm gonna move up 1.
Unfortunately, Rarin, you have decided to take a red arrow. That is a bad path.
The bad path. Oh, there's so many options.
What?
You should have known this.
Okay. To Ben? Oh God, who's Ben?
Who's Ben?
Beneath you.
Okay. Oh, I see. Right, so we die immediately.
I win.
What the heck?
Okay,
Well,
Fur, unfortunately, you got touched by the lava, so that means you're it now.
But so did Smith.
Yeah, but Spiff was already it. Alright, let's re-roll your movements.
No.
Alrighty then. Nobody moves.
Wow, great round. Great round, guys.
Let's
Freeze
do it
tag.
again. Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
And let's see, Rarin, you're up first.
Okay, so there is a theoretical loop that I could take here where we just keep resetting the game if I keep going up. So I guess I'll go to like the more left up.
Spiff, you're gonna move 0 up. Fur, you get to move 1 space.
Can I move up to the left?
Yeah.
Wait, can I move? Can I still move, or is it too late?
Oh yeah, you move to. Oh yeah, you can move another space, right?
All right, I'll move up. Thank you. I'll move up another to the top right. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay.
Oh my God.
Rarin, you move 2 spaces.
All right, I'll go up right and then up left to the orange space.
You have just landed on a fun space, Rarin.
Okay.
Oh, damn it, I knew they were fun spaces.
Oh God.
Ah, cool. Noah's choice. Let's see. Fur, you didn't get to move, so we'll say you get to move 1 space after Spiff. That seems like it's fun.
Okay.
Can I move right onto the fun space?
Yes, you now get some fun.
Ooh, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. Any form of fun. Oh, I gain an item. Please let me. No, I don't want to spin the bad wheel.
Bad wheel.
I want the item wheel. Oh, is there anything good on the bad wheel?
Nothing.
Well, I sure hope for you there's something.
Double spin. Oh, I love double spin.
There could be something on here. I don't quite remember.
Okay.
I guess there is.
Gain a random item.
What
Nice.
the heck?
That's exactly what I wanted. That's amazing. And the lava rises to beneath me.
And the lava
Oh,
rises to
fantastic.
beneath you.
Oh, that bad wheel doesn't feel bad at all, if I'm being honest.
And not only that, Spiff, you also get an item now.
Oh, this is amazing.
You know, I thought you were
Oh,
joking
coming
about
up,
saying you were UK's luckiest man, but I'm not sure anymore.
I mean, it is true.
Magic
You
hat.
should stop inviting me. I've somehow gone into Google API to weight it in my favor.
You now get a magic hat, Spiff.
Oh, can you put that on top of my hat?
Yeah. You can use this to teleport to any square on the map.
What the heck?
And can I use this at any time or only when it's my turn?
Anytime.
What the heck?
Perfect.
This isn't fair.
Fur, you get to move a space now.
Can I just go up and to the left?
Okay, new round. Rarin, it appears you will not move. Spiff, you're up now.
Can I move right 1 and then up 1?
Okay, now Fur, you get to move.
Can I move up and to the left again?
Yes, you're gonna land on my fun wheel.
Yippee!
Ooh.
Oh, no, that's tough.
What?
Oh,
That's not fun.
That's
you
not
don't
fun
want
at
to be.
all.
You don't want to be spinning the bad wheel unless you're me, in which case it's actually the good wheel.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Ooh, 2 spins.
That worked out for Spiff.
This
Maybe
is
it'll
the
work out
same
for you.
thing. What's going on?
Only good things have happened on the bad wheel thus far. What's the problem?
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. What's that?
Another player controls your next move. Spiff.
Way!
Spiff, would you like to control?
I would love control.
Okay.
I would absolutely love control.
You get first next move.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Swap with the it. You are the it.
What's...
There you go.
Oh, and I forgot your
Cool.
tag time should go up by 2.
It doesn't have to.
I think it will.
I was hoping you would just forget about that. I was like, oh, nothing's happening for me being it.
Listen, my memory's not the greatest in the world. All right, let's do it again.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Rarin, not gonna move this time.
This game sucks.
Oh no, this is the best. Oh, can I just move like up 1?
Spiff, you're up again. Control Fur.
I'm gonna help Fur out a bit. I'm gonna put him up next to Roar if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yippee!
And now, Fur, that's another turn of tag time.
Aw.
Alright, I'm implementing a new rule now. If I forget to increment the tag time, it doesn't happen, and players are welcome to remind me.
That's all good. I'll definitely be reminding you.
Okay, that way the comments can't get mad at me.
Oh, thank God, I'm saved.
Okay, yeah. Lava will also go up by
see.
1.
Can you just move Fur like slightly so I can see if he can walk? But is there a path that goes from the tile he's on to? Okay, there is. Oh, I'm gonna go up to the right and then up to the left.
Rarin, you are going to land on an item space.
Oh, big.
That's a yellow staff.
Ooh,
Wow.
what does that do?
I don't remember. Let's check.
Oh,
Yellow staff, you can use that to swap places with a player at random.
Wow.
okay.
I would also like to say your move was very bold because Fur can take the red path towards you.
Yeah.
But what if I use my item right now?
Well, you can use it if he moves towards you. You know, that could be fun.
Oh, but wait, but then wouldn't he tag me before I could use it?
That's a question for Noah.
Items can be used at instant speed.
Oh, okay. So I could do it before. If he decides to move there, I can just rip it. Wait, but hold on. You said at random, right? So if he moves to my spot, then,
then
he's still there.
swap to the
So
same spot.
I would like to use it right now, please. Thank you. Wait, can I teleport to myself?
Yeah, I mean, logically, you are a player, right?
That is
fair. Yeah.
Oh God, please.
We'll respin it if it lands on you.
Thank you. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that means Fur needs. Okay, that's fine. We can make this work.
Do I get an item?
You know what? That sounds like fun. We'll give you an item.
Yippee! I would love a yellow staff.
We in the
Oh.
industry call that the pity prize.
Well, he's gonna get the magic hat.
Can I teleport right? Can I teleport back to Rarin?
Yeah, you can use up. Okay, you're gonna use up your hat. You're gonna teleport to Rarin's space. Rarin, you are now it.
Okay.
That was an awesome turn.
What just happened?
The hat is so good.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, y'all go back. I'm gonna start marking the person who's it with.
That was the worst sequencing I think I've ever seen from like being in this game shows. It was awful.
No, it was awesome.
Bro, we didn't even get married yet, dude. You gotta relax. This is ridiculous.
There's not a space for that on this one.
Noah, can we make a space to get married real fast?
Listen, potentially that could get added by the rules of this game. Spiff, you're up first, though.
Awesome. I guess we got to roll because I didn't have any.
Oh, that's right.
moves.
That is how my game works.
That is how your game works. Wow, it's my turn.
Spiff, you get to move 2 spaces.
Okay, none of you get to move, but I shall be moving. Oh, if I remember correctly, yellow is the fun wheel, so I shall move right to the yellow.
That means we're gonna spin Noah's fun wheel.
Ooh, I love the fun wheel. Oh, yay! Swap with a random player. Spiff, 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 spiff. Oh, it's fur.
Yippee!
Hey, congratulations, Fur.
Do I get to spin the fun wheel?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. We'll have you spin the fun wheel.
Awesome.
Ryan, you'll get to go eventually, don't worry.
It's okay, it's okay. I like it down here.
I've
It's nice.
earned this. I've earned this. What the?
Yeah, you've earned this. You have earned this.
No, no. No, we don't have to spin that wheel.
Is there one on here that says you're it now? There is, right?
Yeah, there is.
This is what happened last time. What is this RNG?
Oh?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
What
Wow.
the? Wait, Fur is the luckiest person I've ever seen. What is this?
No.
You got fun wheel into spin bad wheel into spin twice into nothing.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of nothing.
Okay, Rarin, your tag time will go up by 1 and we'll respin. Quite literally, all that happened was somebody moved to the right 1 space that turn.
Oh?
Okay, Spiff, you start.
Can I move left onto the fun tile?
Yes, you'll get a fun wheel spin.
Let's go. I love the fun wheel. Noah's choice.
I love Noah's choice. We'll say Rarin gets to move 1 space here by default. Actually, wait, does he already get to move 2? That makes,
No,
he
it's too
already
late.
does.
It's too late.
Well, no. Put him there, and then he can decide which player he goes for. I agree with this choice, Noah, because now the choice is Rarin's choice.
But before Rarin will go, Fur, it's your turn.
It's my turn.
It's no longer Rarin's choice.
I don't know if that was the turn order before or not.
No, the person who's it always goes last.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll move to the right one.
Rarin, you now have a big choice to make.
See, I have this weird suspicion that the actual person who's it the most is gonna win.
I'll give you a Magic the Noah assurance that you do not want to be it.
Oh, okay. I feel really bad about this, but honestly, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to move 2 to the left.
Before he collides with me, I shall use my wizard hat. And I shall teleport to the top pink tile, please. Where I will roll the item wheel and receive a second wizard hat.
Wait, are you playing 5D chess over there? What's going on?
Oh.
Yes. Oh, wall. Sorry, apologies. A wall. That's what I said.
Okay, you will receive a wall. You can use this to block a path.
Theoretically, could I just block all of the entrances to where I am?
Theoretically, yes, you could.
Okay, I would like to block the path on the left of me.
Okay.
Here's a quick question for you, Noah. If someone gets in again, we all start from those circles at the bottom. Do those walls stay?
No.
Okay. Well, I do get to spin the fun wheel, right?
Oh, that's right. You get to spin the fun wheel now. Look at how much fun you guys are having this
is
game.
great. Oh, God. Hey, Noah, how's it going, dude?
You know what, for Noah's choice, I think we're going to reduce the chance. It's just coming up too much.
That's fair.
Noah's choice is to have less choice.
Wait, is that your choice? Was to reduce the size of the wheel?
You've got to increase his tag time. Don't forget to
yes.
increase the tag time. Yeah.
Hold on. Noah, was your choice to reduce the size of the wheel? Is that what I got?
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Spiff, you're up first. You can move 2
I'd
spaces.
like to move down to the right and then back to the pink, please, and re-roll the item wheel.
Okay, item wheel.
I can see no downsides with my strategy.
Wait, he's popping off.
Yellow stuff, fun.
You know, potentially, if you get the yellow staff, you could just trap the person who's it up there.
Infinite tag time! This is what we're building towards.
Okay, that was your turn.
Rarin, I recommend you get Fur, because then we can trap him up there, okay?
Why does it have to be me? What did I do?
You can't move this turn. Rarin, it's your turn.
I'm gonna move up 1 to the to up right and then up left to the fun wheel again.
Noah moves you 1 space.
Oh God, you're gonna make me spin the wheel.
Put him back down.
Yeah, we'll just put him back down. I like that.
Yeah!
I'm easily convinced by others. Okay, we'll roll it again. I decided
you got to increase his tag time. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah.
I'm really starting to hate this guy.
Tag time is going to increase. All right, now Lava's more likely to move now. Spiff 2, Rarin 1, and Lava 1. Okay, Spiff.
I'd like to repeat my action from the last turn. Go down and back onto the item wheel, please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's my favorite item.
Spiff, you will get a magical hat.
Oh, that's incredible.
I think we just roll it again then.
Wait, I got the move, right?
No, Rarin gets a move.
Oh yeah, you get one space.
I'm starting to think Noah has a bias towards me. Hold on a second.
No,
it's rigged from the very beginning. I'm gonna move up left.
Okay, you get to spin Noah's fun wheel. Think of all the fun things that could happen.
And oh my god, there's no way, man.
Noah moves you one space.
Just moving back down. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Fur could just die to the lava.
Oh, I get to move this time, so we're good.
Yeah, Spiff, you're up first.
I'm gonna move down to the right, please.
Fur.
Can I move up to the right?
Now, Rarin.
I guess I have to, I think, spin the wheel again, the fun wheel.
The fun wheel is fun.
For sure, yeah. I'm gonna move up one to the left, I guess, because we can't go past the circle and spin it and then keep going, right? No, dude.
Oh my god.
Noah is gonna move you one space.
Where could it be?
Oh,
wow.
I hate this game. I hate it.
All right, let's spin it again.
No. It's got to increase Rarin's tag time. You can't
that's
forget
right.
That. Can't forget that. That's the best part of the game. That and moving Rarin onto the same tile every turn.
I'm not moving again.
Spiff, you're up.
I would like to go onto the purple tile and stay there and activate the item wheel.
Am I even moving?
Awesome.
Oh, it's another magic hat. Or is it a wall?
It's a wall.
It's a wall.
He has Exodia. It's over.
Okay, so I now have the ability to trap a player into the trap land, theoretically.
Yes.
There are a few downsides to this because, of course, they roll an item.
You have to move on to the space. They'd just be stuck there.
Okay, so they would just be stuck there and they wouldn't get an item. Incredible. I would like to put a wall there, please.
Okay, you're gonna block this section off completely. Okay, Fur, it's your turn.
This isn't fair at all.
It seems quite fair on top of my castle up here.
You move 0 this turn.
Yeah.
Rarin, you get to move one space.
Okay, let's go up left again to go back to the white circle.
Okay, Noah's fun wheel.
I swear to God, if it rolls this again, I'm just leaving. No, I'm out, dude. I'll see you later.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Swap with a random player.
This could be awesome.
Wait. Please not Spiff. Actually,